Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to EduTap. So, hi everyone. So, is my voice is clearly audible to you or not? And also my video is clearly visible to you or not? Just confirm in the chat section. I'm taking this class on the Zoom and simultaneously it is also being recorded or live streamed in the YouTube also. So just confirm me both from the YouTube as well as from the Zoom. So just confirm me in the chat section if my voice is clear to you. Good evening everyone. Good evening. Hello Nilesh. So I have started to get the messages from all of you in the YouTube as well and as well as in the Zoom. Okay. So I want everyone to be participative, huh? So once I know that everything is fine, I will go ahead with the class. Okay. Okay. Good evening. Happy Holi, everyone. Okay. So everyone is saying everything is fine. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. So there is no technical issue at least, right? Okay. Okay. Chalo fir. That's good to see so many candidates are here. Okay, so there are so many candidates in the Zoom itself. There are so many joining in the live of YouTube as well. I'm really glad to see that so many aspirants are very serious about the SEBI Grade A officer exam. That's very good. Okay, okay. So let's start the class. So let me share my screen with you and confirm that as well. Ki my screen is visible to you or not, right? Okay, so all of you are able to see my PPT, isn't it? Everyone, just let me know in the chat section. Everyone. Yeah, so everyone is saying they can clearly see my PPT. That's good. That's good. Okay. Happy Holi, everyone. Happy Holi. Okay. So let's start this. And so first of all, I want all of you to know that we are having this crash course for the SEBI Grade A 2024, SEBI Grade A Journalist Stream, right? And in this particular live course, this is our first class, and the first three class we are also going to provide on the YouTube as well for demo purpose, right? So not all the crash course is going to be for free of cost, obviously, right? So only first three class will be there on the YouTube, and that too we are going to stream it live as well. So right now I'm teaching in Zoom, and this is going to be streamed in the YouTube as well, right? Okay. So as I can see, most of you are here. Okay. Now this live course is going to be for the SEBI Grade A journalist post, and we are going to cover all the relevant topics and as well as all the important topics in this crash course in 150 hours, and you will be given 75 live classes with the concept notes in the form of summary sheets, right? And we have 8,000, approximately 8,000 plus chapter wise quizzes you are going to be have in this crash course, and you will also be getting the current affairs PDF as well, right? Okay, so now you have this coupon code as well, that is SEBI 55 here, right? So by using this SEBI 55 code now, you can easily get discount of flat 55%, right? So after getting the discount, you will be able to buy this course only at 6,300 rupees, and that's very affordable price, right? And in this particular crash course, what will be the flow of the class? First of all, the teachers or educators or the faculties are going to discuss all the topics of a particular subject with you. So that's how you're going to learn through the live classes and also through the recorded classes as well. So whatever I'm teaching online, that will be given to you recorded as well. You can watch it a number of times, right? And you will also be given summary sheets, right? And you will be having the current affair magazine as well. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you that I have enabled a setting now in the Zoom, in that your messages is going to be delivered to me only, huh? You won't be able to see each other's messages. I have done this setting so that you won't get distracted with each other's messages, right? So I have enabled a setting in which I have ticked host and co-host. So your all messages are getting delivered to me, don't worry at all, but you won't be able to see each other's messages, right? Okay, I have done so that you are completely focused on the class itself, right? Okay. Now, how you're going to evaluate yourself? Obviously through solved PYQs and through the chapter wise mocks as well, and through the current affair mocks and you will be provided as well the full length mock test, right? And you have to do this. Then you can connect with us as well on weekly mentor talk and discussion forum. In the discussion forum, you can ask your queries, right? You can raise support ticket for any of your doubts, and you can ask for the strategy calls as well, right? And you have the phone support as well. So this is the first class we are having live on the Zoom, and it will go on till 15th of May. So this is basically the live class for the phase one, in which we are covering paper one as well and paper two as well, right? And after that, we are also going to give you the detailed schedule of the phase two as well. Don't worry about that. Okay. So this is the first 20 classes schedule, but I'm going to just navigate to you to our website, where I will be providing you where you can find our courses as well, and the detailed brochure as well for the detailed schedule for all the classes, right? So this is the website we have, and in the website, in the courses tab, when you are going to click on the SEBI Grade A courses general, then it will direct you to a page in which, when you are going to scroll down now, you will find this live crash course for the phase one and phase two. So you can easily download the brochure from it. And as you can see, 14,000 is the price, but if you apply the code of SEBI 55 now, so you will be having 55% off, and it will come down to 6,300 price. Okay, so from here you can purchase the course, and if you want to download the brochure as well, you can do so. And in this brochure, you are going to find the detailed schedule and detailed aspect or activities we are going to do in this live crash course. So let me just give you a synopsis of it. Okay, so this is the crash course, and this is what you are going to have in this detailed offering for the quants raising as well, for the current affair as well, full length mocks as well. And this is the live class schedule for each and every subject we have. So we are starting from the paper two, obviously, because this is the most important part, right? So from the commerce and accountancy, we are going to start. Then you have the economics, then you have the management, and simultaneously with the management, we are also going to start with the reasoning as well, then costing, then English, then finance, and again quants and general awareness, company law. So that's how we are going to cover everything with 75 live classes, right? Okay, so I have given you brief about this, so you can purchase it through the website itself. Just click on the buy now and apply the coupon code as well, so that you have a good discount as well. Okay, so I have given you brief about the course as well for the YouTube candidates. So whoever is in Zoom, obviously they have purchased the course already. Okay, so let's start the class now. Okay, so let me get back to the PPT. Chalo. So this is the first class we are having, and it's all about the basics of accounting. So in this particular class now, I want everyone, whoever is here, around more than 100 people are here with me, right, in the Zoom session. So I want everyone to be participative. I want everyone to be interactive. See, accounts is a very logical subject, very technical subject. So you need to be very patient. You need to have very patience with it, right? And just try to apply your logics and be interactive with me. Okay, so first thing I want to ask every one of you, that out of these so many candidates I have right now with me, how many of you are basically from the non-commerce background, and are you from the commerce background? Let me know in the chat section if you are from the commerce background, or are you from the non-commerce. So I have started to get the answers. Okay, so let me check the YouTube as well. Okay, so in the Zoom, most of you are from the non-commerce background. Okay, and few of you are from the commerce, and most of you are from the non-commerce. Let me check the. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Chalo fir. So if most of you are from the non-commerce background now, you have to pay attention in each and every sentence and each and every word I'm going to say to you, right? Chalo. So what will be the flow? Let's talk about the agenda of our today's class. So first of all, we are going to understand what is the meaning of accounting. So I'm really glad to see now ki these many candidates are here, and all of you are so interactive, and all of you are so much serious about the preparation. I can see lot of answers in the chat section in the Zoom, right? Okay, that's very good, right? Okay. So first of all, we are going to start with the meaning of accounting, and I'm really happy to see ki you are very serious for the this exam, SEBI Grade Officer exam. This is a very good exam and once in a lifetime opportunity you are getting. After 2 years, you are getting this form, right? And after completing the meaning of accounting, what we are going to do, we are going to understand the objectives of accounting. Then we are going to understand some basic terms of accounting. So if you are from the non-commerce background, obviously you need to have a good understanding of the basic terms of accounting. And even if you are from the commerce category, then also you need to have a good understanding of all the terms, because sometimes questions are directly asked from the word or terminologies itself, right? Then we are going to attend some MCQs as well with relation to whatever we have discussed in first three steps. Then we are going to talk about the accounting principles. Then gap versus IFRS, we are going to look at it. And then we are going to talk about the types of accounting concepts and principles. Then again, we are going to do MCQs. That will be the flow of our class, right? Okay. So let's start with the meaning of accounts. So everyone, I want everyone to be ready for the class, huh? So somebody is asking me, sir, I need to prepare notes. Not now. After the live class is over, you can watch the recorded class as well. Then you could prepare the notes if you want, but you will be given the uh, PDF as well, I guess, or the summary sheets as well, right? Now you can prepare the notes, but not right now. Listen to me very carefully. Whatever you find very important, you can write it down. But after completing this live class, you can go to the recorded class as well. Then you should prepare your notes by pausing the video as well, right? Okay. Let's start with the meaning of accounts. So earlier, accounts only meant the recording of transactions. So पहले क्या होता था कि account was only concerned with the recording of transactions, but now it has wider implication. It has broader scope. It basically provides relevant data for decision making. See, please listen to me very carefully. Now, accounts is not only concerned with the recording of transaction. It is giving the decision makers the relevant data to decide what to do and to decide what not to do. So basically, accounts is providing the refined form of data. So if you are from non-commerce background, listen to me very carefully. Suppose I say that we have a sales of 1 crore. Or I can say we have given the salary. I am the part of the company and you are also the part of the company. We are the shareholders and we have given the salary of let's suppose 10 lakh to our employee, right? Now, just writing it in the normal book and writing it in the format that accounts has prescribed has a different implication. So when you write this transaction in a prescribed format, it gives some meaning. It gives some meaning to the decision makers. So it has accounts has certain format, certain rules, certain regulation. When you record the transaction according to those rules, those principles, right? Then the decision maker is going to form their opinion or they will try to decide anything. So account is providing you refined data in a processed manner. You are going to understand what is this processed manner and how account is going to give you a processed data. Don't worry about that. But for now, let's try to understand account is not just recording the data. It is process of data. It is refinement of data in a certain way, in the form of reports, in the form of balance sheet, in the form of profit loss account. Right? So account refines the data so that stakeholders like business owners, tax authorities, management, others can make the decisions. So now you have the basic meaning of the account, isn't it? कि accounts क्या है? Refine करता है डेटा को प्रोसेस करता है इस तरह से कि जो डिसीजन मेकर्स हैं, स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, उससे वो डिसाइड कर सके क्या करना है. ठीक है? ओके. एंड this accounting is therefore is defined as the process. Please remember here कि accounting as a process we are going to discuss now. So हमने पढ़ा था in the last slide कि what is account, what account is doing, what is accounts. But now we are doing by which process accounts provides us the reports and the detailed data so that stakeholder might take a good decision, right? So that process is accounting process. And this accounting process is basically what we have segregated this accounting process in 4 steps. Please listen to me very carefully, huh? Okay. First, you need to identify the economic events. ठीक है. So first of all, in the accounting process, what you need to do, you need to identify. So we are a company. I have told you now, कि whenever we are going to study accounts, I am the shareholder, you are also the shareholder, or you can suppose I am the accountant and you are the co-accountant. So we both are, or we all of us are accountant. So try to understand the accounting subject from the perspective of accountant. So now what we have to do to prepare accounts, we have to first identify the economic events, right? First of all, we have to identify the economic events. And what is the economic event? We will study that in the next slide. In the next slide, don't worry about that. So first of all, you need to identify what is the economic event, and then you have to measure it. So if certain transaction or certain event is not an economic event, that is not going to be recorded in the accounts book. First thing you need to remember here, right? Then after identifying what is this economic event, you are going to measure it. You are going to measure it in the monetary terms. ठीक है? And after measuring it, after the calculation part, you are going to record it as per the prescribed format or as per the prescribed principles or the standards. Then this is going to be communicated to the organization, and in the organization as well, to the interested user within the organization as well and outside the organization as well. This can be communicated, right? So what is accounting process? Again, with me, everyone. Identifying of the economic events, then measurement of the economic events, then recording of that economic event, and then communicating that required information to the interested user of such organization, right? So now let's discuss one by one each of these aspects. So are you comfortable in English, or I should use the mixture of both of the languages? Please let me know in the chat section. Should I use Hindi as well in between, or only English I should go for? Okay, so okay, English. Most of you are saying English. Okay, so okay. Chalo, chalo. Okay, so I will try to sometime use Hindi as well. Okay, so after this, after identifying everything, after going through these 4 steps, let's talk about each one of these steps in detail. So first of all, we are going to understand what is the economic event. Try to understand what is the economic event. Economic event क्या होता है? ठीक है? चलो. So economic event is any occurrence which has a significant impact on the business organization. And this economic event basically consists of what? All the transactions which are measurable in monetary terms. Listen to me very carefully. If any economic event, if you can't measure that economic event in the monetary terms, it is very less likely that you are going to record it in your accounts book. So economic event is that event that is going to impact our organization. I have told you that we are accountants. So whatever economic event is impacting our organization, only we are going to record those transactions, right? And that too, which can be expressed in the monetary terms. And these economic event consist of internal economic event and as well as external economic event. This is very easy and this is very obvious. Ki internal event is that event which is going to occur entirely between the or within the organization. So if it is occurring within the organization, it is obviously the internal economic event, right? Let's suppose you are supplying, we have a company, and our store department is going to supply raw material to the manufacturing department. So this transaction is basically what? Internal. So this is the internal economic event. One more example we should take. Another example is if we are giving wages to the employees, then obviously the whole transaction is within the organization, right? Management is paying money to the employees. So whole of the transaction is within the organization. So this is the internal economic event. Now let's talk about the external economic event. Okay, wait a minute. So many questions we have. Don't worry about the questions, huh? Don't worry about the summary sheets. Don't worry about any other thing. Right now, try to focus on what I'm saying, right? Then I will be taking all of your doubts as well about the summary sheet, about the concept classes. Focus on what I'm saying right now. Okay. So what is this external economic event? See, external economic event involves those transactions which involve basically an outside party as well. So if there is an outside party and there is a party which is within the organization, then the transaction between these two parties, we will call it external economic event. Everyone is clear about this? So for example, let's take sale of Reebok shoes to the customers. So when you are selling something to the customers, obviously outside party is customer, right? So that's how it is an external economic event. So all of you, Get the meaning of economic event na? So you know na ki accounting process has a first step of identification of economic events. So now you can identify what is economic event and what is not economic event. See, suppose I am an accountant. I go on a personal trip to, let's say, Lakshadweep. So will it be recorded in my books of accounts? No, because it's not an event that is going to impact our organization. That's my personal trip, right? So this is how you identify what is impacting the business organization and what is not, and if it is, if it can be expressed in the monetary terms or not. Isn't it? Everyone is clear? Everyone in the chat section, be interactive, huh? This is not going to be a one-way communication. You need to be interactive so that I know you are listening to me very attentively. Okay, everyone is saying clear. That's good, huh? I can see so many messages. Okay, that's very good. Okay, so I am happy to see all of you are very interactive and all of you are very attentive as well. Now let's talk about the measurement part. So after we have identified the economic events, what you need to do? We need to measure it. We need to measure it. Okay, identification is done. No, okay, economic event is done. First of all, again, let's talk about the identification, though we have talked about this as well. With the example, let's talk about the identification one more time with the example. Will change in the managerial policies of the company be recorded in accounts? You tell me if this will be recorded or not. I have given you example of my personal trip now. So tell me in the chat section, will change in the managerial policies of company be recorded in the accounts or not? Everyone. Okay, everyone is saying no. Okay, that's good. So this is not going to be recorded. Why? Because this can't be expressed in the monetary terms. This is not the economic event, right? So identification. Now you know how to identify the economic event. Will payment of salary be recorded in the accounting? Yes. Everyone is saying yes in this. Okay, that's good. So that's how you identify. ठीक है? चलो. Now after identification की ठीक है कि this transaction might be recorded in the monetary terms. So we have to record it in the accounts book. But before recording in the accounts book, now what you need to do? You need to measure it as well. Only after identifying it, your work is not done. After identification, you need to measure it now. कि in which, on what terms you are going to record it, right? On the rupees terms. So this measurement part is basically your calculation part. Very easy part. Very easy part. You have to just calculate the value. So if you are paying salary, how much salary you are paying to an employee? Suppose 1 lakh per month, 2 lakh per month. So that is going to be your uh, basically your denomination in which you are going to record it. So this is what measurement part. So you might say, Mina sir, इसमें measurement क्या था? You are paying a salary 1 lakh per month to an employee. इसमें आपने measure क्या किया? सारे transaction इतने easy नहीं होंगे. Not all transaction is going to be that much easy. Suppose you have to calculate the depreciation. Suppose the depreciation is 10%. So you have to calculate na, what is the 10% of overall value of the asset. So that's how you measure it. So second step is measurement after identification. Now, third step is your recording. So after measuring it, you just need to record it. So you have identified the event, you have measured the event. Now you just need to record it as per the standards, as per the prescribed format, right? After recording it, what you are going to do? You are going to communicate it. You are going to communicate it. Okay. So this information is going to be recorded and this is going to be communicated to each of the interested parties, right? Or it can be displayed in the website as well, so that interested party can go themselves and see it, right? And what is going to happen from these reports? The decision makers would be able to take good decisions out of it, right? Now let's talk about the organization. Not very technical, not very difficult. Organization is anything, any business enterprise. Please remember this point, whether profit oriented or not for profit motive. So please understand, it is not only the profit motive organization is going to prepare their accounts. The not for profit organization also prepare their accounts books. ठीक है? Please remember, organization does not only constitute the profit organization, it also constitute the not-for-profit organization. Okay. So depending upon the size, activities, and the level of business operation, it can be like sole proprietorship as well. It can be partnership as well. It can be private company. It can be public company. Any type of business enterprise would be considered an organization, and they need to prepare their accounts, right? Now let's talk about the interested users. Interested users can also be segregated into internal users and external users. How and why? Because this accounts reports this accounts or we can say the financial statements are helpful for the management as well and for the shareholders as well. Suppose we are accountant, then we are the internal users. Suppose we are managers, so we are the internal users. But if I am having a share or not a single share, but if I am having shares of Tata, then I am the external user, isn't it? If I want to invest money in the Tata, then also I am an external user, right? So chief executive, financial officer, vice president, whoever is basically inside or within the organization, that will be included in the internal users, right? All the creditors, even the bank itself, all the present and the potential investors. I have given you example na ki we are the shareholders of Tata, so we will be considered as external users. Or suppose you haven't yet invested in the Tata, but you want to invest it, so you are going to analyze the financial statement of Tata na, the balance sheet, the profit loss statement. So you are also an external user. Got it? Okay. The tax authorities, regulatory bodies, labor unions, stock exchanges. So whoever is outside the boundary of organization, that will be considered as the external user. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now, listen to me very carefully in this chart. This is the flow of accounting information. We have discussed about the accounting as the process. We have discussed about the accounting as the process, in which we have discussed 4 steps, isn't it? Now, what does this accounting process basically, what does this accounting process facilitate? It is linking the decision maker. It is linking the decision maker with the economic event. Suppose some economic event happens. Okay? This economic event is getting recognized, or this is getting recorded in such a way that decision makers can make future decisions, can make future prediction. So basically, this accounting process is linking this economic event with the decision makers through the accounting process, through the formation of the reports, right? And thereby communicating it with the decision makers. Now, decision makers have decided something. Again, the economic event is going to happen. So again, this accounting process is going to form the reports, and again, it will be communicated to the decision makers. So this flow will go on, right? And it will basically ensure improvement, right? Okay, now it's your turn to answer me. What are the answers of this question? So first question, first concept check. So whatever we have studied till now, let me know in the chat section. What is the answer of the first question? Which of the following is the first step in accounting? In the accounting, huh? Communicating, analyzing, measurement of transaction, identification of economic event. Let me know in the chat section. Okay, easy, easy. I have 100 messages in the chat section. Okay, let me read it out. Okay. Okay, so everyone is saying, okay, Aditi is saying 3, not 3. And rest of the people are, yeah, so most of you are correct. Most of you are correct. Everyone is saying 4. Okay, that's very good. That's very good. So in the accounting process, the first step was to identify the economic events. Na? Then you have the measurement, then you have the recording, then you have the communication, right? Okay. Second question is, which of the following events should be recorded? Which of the following events should be recorded in accounting? Changes in reimbursement of policy and payment of salary, change in transportation route, release of holiday calendar. Let me know in the chat section, everyone. So everyone is saying 2. That's good. That's very good. So each one of you are correct. So even if you are from the non-commerce background, now I know that you have the basic understanding of the accounts at least, right? So we are going to get into deep as well. So let me check the YouTube as well. Okay. So I want to see if they are, yeah, they are also correct. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's good. Chalo. Let's move ahead. Now, our next question is, okay, so question we have done. So our next slide is talking about the objectives of accounting. Now you know what is the accounting, na? So now you must know why we are using the accounting, why we are doing the accounting, isn't it? You should know why we are doing the accounting. So first of all, we are doing it to maintain the records of the business transaction. So we can't remember all of the transaction. We have numerous of records, isn't it? In any company, we have numerous of transactions. You can't remember each and every transaction. So you need to record your business transactions, isn't it? So this is one of the primary objective of accounting. You need a way to record all of the transaction. Second basic objective is to calculate the profit and loss. Obviously, you try to calculate your revenue, and then you see your expenses. You are going to deduct your expenses from the revenue. Thereby you are going to get the profit, right? So if you are profit motive, if you are a profit motive organization, obviously you need your profit with you, right? So that's why you do accounting. Another reason to do accounting is depiction of financial position. And what is this financial position? Basically it depicts the assets and liabilities. So suppose this is the liability side and this is the asset side. So this is one of the objective of the accounting, to show what is the present situation, what is the present situation of the liability, and what is the present situation of the asset, right? Okay, very easy, not very technical. Then we have another objective as providing accounting information to its users so that they can use this information to make informed decision. Important objective. ठीक है, whether they are shareholders, whether they are tax authorities, whether they are regulatory bodies such as SEBI, so or whether it is management. So this is also one of the objective, that company wants to provide information, accounting information, to its users so that they can make informed decisions. Okay, again your turn now. Concept check question again we have. So I have put so many concept check now so that you can evaluate yourself as well. If you are from non-commerce or if you are from commerce background, you should know ki where you stand right now whenever we are having the live lecture, right? So first question says, which of the following is not a business transaction? Let me know in the chat section what should be the correct answer. Bought furniture of 10,000 rupees for business, paid for salaries of employees, paid son's fees from her personal account 20,000, paid son's fees from the business. Let me know the chat section. Let me see who is going to give the correct answer. Okay, so everyone is saying 3. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's the correct answer. Yeah, because he is paying the son's fees from the personal account, not from the business account. If he's paying from the business account now, then it must be recorded as a drawing or as a loan, right? Depending on the policies. So 3 is not a business transaction. Third option. That's good. Okay, tell me the answer of this question. Which is the last step of accounting as a process of information? And do remember the question. It is asking accounting as a process, not accounts. Accounting as a process. What is the last step? Listen to this and read out this question very carefully. Not overall accounts. It is asking about only accounting as a process. Accounting as a process. See, let me see who is correct here. Okay, I knew few of you might be incorrect here. Okay. Okay, so correct answer here is 3, not the 4. I knew ki somewhat some people, some candidates might take the answer of 4. See, that's why I have emphasized ki it is talking about accounting as a process, and we have studied now ki accounting as a process, not accounting as a whole. Remember this thing, accounting as a process. The first step was to identify, and last step is to communicate. In the accountancy, though, when we talk about accountancy as a subject matter, in accountancy, though, the last step is analysis and interpretation by the management as well. But in the accounting as a process, थोड़ा सा डेप्थ में, थोड़ा सा इन डेप्थ समझनी है चीजें, ठीक है? थोड़ा डिटेल्ड में समझना है. मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर करेक्ट, आई नो. ठीक है, सबको समझ में आ गई बात कि when we talk about the last step of accountancy, then, right? Okay. After communication, we can analyze the information, right? Okay. Chalo. So what we have done till now, we have done the meaning of accounting and we have done the objective of accounting. Now let's talk about few basic terms in accounting, and we are going to start with the assets. Chalo. What is asset? Asset is our resource from which we are going to get benefited in the future. We are going to have our income from this, from using this asset. So we say na ki we have this mobile as our asset, though we are not generating any income. If I am a business organization, then if you have the stock of mobiles, then obviously I'm going to generate income from this asset as well. So inventory is also considered as the asset. That is your current asset. And you have the machinery who is going to assemble, which is going to assemble the mobile components. That is also your asset, because this is the resource you have. with the economic value, ठीक है, that is going to give you benefit, and you expect from this resource that it is going to give you benefit in the long run. So therefore it is considered as asset, ठीक है, and it can be of two type, fixed asset and as well as current asset. What is this fixed asset? Listen to me very carefully. These assets are long term assets, that are expected to provide you economic benefits for the longer duration of time. Basically, for a period more than 1 year of time period, they are going to give you benefits, right? And if they are going to give you benefit only for 1 year or for one operating cycle, we are going to consider those asset as current asset. But if they are going to provide us benefit or income for more than 1 year, then we are going to call it fixed asset. Clear? Now we have the example of assets. I'm telling you the examples of asset, not about the fixed asset, right? So we have cash, furniture, plant, machinery, vehicle, building, stock and equipments, and computer. Tell me, out of these assets, these assets, which which assets are not fixed asset? Which assets are not fixed asset? Tell me in the chat section. Out of these assets listed here, cash, furniture, plant and machinery, vehicles, buildings, stock, equipments, and computers, which of them are not fixed asset? Chalo, let me check the chat section. Okay, everyone is correct, but partially correct. Few people are saying only cash, and few of you are saying cash and stock. That's good. Cash and stock both are your current asset, not the fixed asset, because we expect our inventories to be sold out within 1 year. We always purchase the inventory, and we expect our inventory to be sold out within a year. We don't expect it to be in the warehouse for more than 1 year. Huh? So stock is also your current asset, not the fixed asset, right? So apart from stock and cash, everything that is listed here is your fixed asset. Chalo, let's move ahead with the liabilities. Now, liability is opposite of asset. From the asset, you are generating your income, but from the liabilities, now what you are expecting, you are basically these liabilities are your obligations. Now you have to pay money to outsiders. This is the difference. Liabilities are opposite of assets. Now you have the obligation, and now you have to pay to the outside parties. Again, it can be of two types. One is current liability, and another one is non-current liability. So suppose we have taken a loan from the bank for 10 years. Tell me in the chat section, if you have taken a loan from the bank for 10 years, what it is. It is current liability or non-current liability? Non-current liability. Yes, everyone is correct here. So it is a non-current liability. If our obligation is going to be paid within a year, then it's a current liability. But if it is going to be paid for more than 1 year, we are going to pay the EMI now for more than 1 year, then it's a non-current liability. Okay, everyone is clear about this? I want non-commerce students to be very attentive, huh? And I want especially non-commerce students to be very interactive. I want to make sure that you get each and everything very correctly, huh? Even the minute details you should know. Okay, chalo. Let's move ahead. We have discussed this thing, right? Current liability in short, current liability, non-current liability, we have discussed. Okay, let's talk about the capital now. What is this capital? Important term. See, capital is the amount is invested by the owners, by the shareholders. Okay, whatever amount they are investing, but not necessarily only amount. They can also invest, suppose vehicle. They can also invest building. They can also invest machinery. They can also provide machinery. So all these will be considered as the capital, whether it is brought in the form of cash or assets. Okay, so it will be considered as the capital. Chalo, everyone is clear about the capital. Let's move ahead let's read about the sales. So sales is very easy. So if I am manufacturing these pens, if I'm selling these pens, right, whatever revenue I'm generating by selling these pens, that will be considered sales. Easy enough. And we can have two type of sales: cash sales and credit sales. What is cash sales? If I'm selling this pen, and if I'm getting the cash instantly or simultaneously, right, I'm getting paid instantly, then it's a cash sales. But if I'm selling this pen, but our buyer basically says we are going to pay to you after 1 month or 2 months, then it's a credit sale. सेल ऑन क्रेडिट, उधार पे बेचना, ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाट योर क्रेडिट सेल इज. एवरीवन इज क्लियर? ओके, these are very basic terms, huh? Okay, now let's understand about the creditor. This is important. I'm going to mark star here. Creditors and debtors, often students are confused between these two terms. I will discuss these two terms with you in detail. So what are creditors? So creditors are those persons who have to be paid by the enterprise. Please remember this thing. If suppose I'm selling this pen, I'm making this pen, but to make this pen I need raw materials, okay? So we are the accountants, we have ordered the supply of raw material for this pen, and we are going to pay to our supplier after 3 months, let's say. So those suppliers will be our creditors, ठीक है? रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, ध्यान दो, क्रेडिटर्स क्या है? जिसने हमें उधार दिया है, ठीक है? नाउ वी हैव टू पे मनी टू द आउटसाइड पार्टी after some time. So those are will be called our creditors. And when we talk about the debtors, where we have basically sold this pen, or suppose Ram bought these pens worth rupees 1000 from us. Okay. So now he has to pay us money after some time. So he will be called our debtor. ठीक है, सबको क्लियर है? इंपॉर्टेंट, दीज टू आर इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म्स, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस वेरी केयरफुली. इफ वी हैव टू पे मनी, then that person is our creditor. If we are going to receive money, then that person is our debtor. Clear enough? Okay, let's move ahead with the revenue. So revenue basically talks about all the incomes we are generating, whether no, revenue refers to the income that a business earns from its normal operation. Basically, revenue is that, right? So it represents total amount of money generated by a company through the sale of goods, or if they are basically providing the services like Ola or Uber, if they are providing the services as well, then also whatever they are generating by providing the services, that also going to be included in the revenue, right? Easy enough, nothing very technical here. Expenditure. So expenditure is any outflow of fund. Remember this thing, any outflow of fund. For, let's suppose, if you are buying if you are buying machinery, if you are buying raw material, if you are buying raw materials, and if you are paying salaries to the employees, so every outflow of fund or payment made by individuals, organization, or government entity will be called expenditure. Easy enough, nothing very technical here. Okay, everyone is clear about the expenditure as well. These are the normal English terms as well, right? Okay, but this is technical. Now revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, this is technical. This is no this is not what we are going to use in general English. This is what we use in accountancy, right? What is the revenue expenditure and what is the capital expenditure? Now listen to me very carefully here, this is going to be important. See, when you have to identify any expenditure to be as a revenue expenditure or capital expenditure, what you are going to see, revenue, as the name is suggesting, whatever expenditure you are doing day to day, for day to day operations, or for the normal course of business, that will be included in the revenue expenditure. Okay, let's read out once. It refers to the expenses incurred by business organization that are intended to maintain its day to day operation. We have discussed this thing now, and generate revenue in the normal course of business. So if any expenditure that relates to the normal course of business, sir, kindly explain this, give us the example as well. I'm going to give you the example as well, don't worry. Suppose we are paying salary to our employee. It is recurring in nature, it is day-to-day operation. Every month we pay salaries to our employee, so that will be considered as the revenue expenditure. Suppose we are ordering raw material from our supplier. It is it is in the normal course of business, it is a recurring activity, so it is also considered as revenue expenditure. Okay, and how you are going to identify, these are the criteria. Listen to me very carefully. Suppose whatever expenditure you are doing, try to analyze in the exam or while you are studying if this is recurring or non-recurring. If the expenditure is such a way that it is going to recur after some time, it is recurring in nature, then it must be included in the revenue expenditure only. And if it is also providing you short-term benefits, but the basic criteria you are going to see is if it is recurring or non-recurring. That is the basic criteria, first criteria, right? And I'm going to give you second tip as well. The second criteria, you look at if this transaction is going to be included in the profit or loss statement or not. So if you are a commerce background student, na, you know what is profit loss account, loss account. But if you are non-commerce commerce background student, don't worry, you will get to know. For them, for the non-commerce background student, just understand if it is recurring in nature and if it is in the normal course of business, it will be included in the revenue expenditure. Okay? If it is periodically repeating. But as far as capital expenditure is concerned, please remember here, if it is non-recurring, right? If it is not in the normal course of business, then it will be considered as the capital expenditure. I'll give you an example. Suppose we have the machinery to basically assemble this pen. We have a big machinery and we are going to sell it because it become obsolete, right? So depreciation has been charged, but now we have to sell it because it is of no use. So tell me in the chat section, if it is a recurring activity, do we often sell our machinery time to time? Tell me in the chat section. If it is a recurring activity, what I have told you right now in the chat section, everyone. Okay, everyone is saying no. Yes. So it is non-recurring. So it will be considered as the capital expenditure. Very, very good. Everyone, very good. So how you are going to identify the capital expenditure? You are going to see, and let's take another example. If I'm purchasing the machinery as well, it is a recurring or non-recurring? It is a non-recurring. It is a non-recurring activity. You are not going to buy 1 crore machinery every month or every 2 months or every 3 months or even every year. You can't buy the machinery of 1 crore rupees, right? So it is a capital expenditure. So you are going to see if the expenditure you are doing, that is going to benefit you for the long time or not. If it is benefiting you for the long run, then obviously it is a capital expenditure. Plus, it is non-recurring in nature, that is non-periodic. Plus, it is impacting the balance sheet. Don't worry if you don't know about the balance sheet. Don't worry about this point, right? We will know what is balance sheet in the next classes as well, right? Don't worry about that, right? Please understand the basic criteria: non-recurring, and long-term benefits. That is the basic criteria. Okay. Let's move ahead with the deferred revenue expenditure. Now, this deferred revenue expenditure, what is the deferred revenue expenditure? See, now it is the mixture of capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure. Though it is not recurring in nature, it is non-recurring, but then also it is considered revenue expenditure. ठीक है, याद रखना है. Deferred means you have deferred your payment. You have stopped your payment for right now, and you are going to distribute this payment for certain years. This is what deferring your payment. I'll give you an example. Suppose this is you and you have taken a loan from your friend of, let's suppose, 10,000 rupees. अब ये दोस्त आपके पास आया, he's asking the money back from you, and you're deferring it. You're saying, अरे यार क्या दोस्त तो मेरे यार मुझसे रुपए मांग रहे हो, just take it in the next month. And you are saying कि ठीक है, होली निकल गई, I will give you the 2,000 rupees on April, and I'm going to give you next one 2,000 rupees on December, and in the next year, in the July, I'm going to pay you 2,000. Similarly, you have told this person, your friend, that you are going to pay money back to him. So you are deferring your payment. This is what a deferred revenue expenditure. Okay. Now let's take the real example, practical example. Suppose we are a company and we are basically spending money on advertisement, huge expenditure on advertisement. So now listen to me very carefully. There is a huge expenditure. So obviously it will be non-recurring in nature. So the characteristic of capital expenditure is non-recurring because there is a huge expenditure, but it will not be considered as the capital expenditure. Okay? Because there is not any real asset here. You are doing expenditure on advertisement, and you don't know how much money you are going to get from this expenditure. So it will be deferred. So it is going to be shown as asset in the balance sheet. It will be considered as asset, but it is not a real asset. It is not a real asset. So it is considered as deferred revenue expenditure. So you are going to divide this expenditure throughout various years. Let me give you a mathematical example. Suppose you have you have done 10 lakh expenditure on advertisement, and you are going to distribute this expenditure for 5 years, or let's suppose for 10 years. So for each year you are going to recognize your expense only 1 lakh in the profit loss account. So see, it is going to be recognized in the income statement or in the profit loss account to calculate your profit. Therefore, it is revenue expenditure, not the capital expenditure. Please remember here, it is important, huh? Deferred revenue expenditure. Okay. So it is going to give you long-term benefits, right? It is going to basically impact the balance sheet as well, because the you are recognizing it as asset as well in the initial period, and whatever you are recognizing as an expense for a current year, that is going to impact your profit loss statement as well. It is non-periodic. Okay, everyone is clear? Chalo, now it's your turn to answer me. Somebody saying always friends के साथ होता है. Okay, so tell me the answer of this question. What are current liabilities? When are current liabilities payable? Within a year, after 1 year, but within 5 year, within 5 years, subject to contingency. Tell me, everyone. Okay, so I have started to get the answers. That's good. Within 1 year. Okay, that's good. So everyone is correct here. Chalo. Second, let me know in the chat section what is the answer of second question. Preliminary expenses are the examples of what? Preliminary expenses, huh? Preliminary expenses are those expenses which are basically you have done expenditure prior to the incorporation of a company. Prior to the incorporation of company, okay? Is it capital expenditure, capital gain, deferred revenue expenditure, or revenue expenditure? So it is your deferred revenue expenditure. So most of you are correct here as well. I'm really happy to see, huh? I'm really happy to see. Okay, that's very good. Chalo, next question. Depreciation of fixed asset. हाँ, इसको बताओ. देखते हैं who is going to give me the answer. Depreciation of fixed asset is an example of what? I want to see who is going to give me the correct answer here. Okay, that's good. That's good. This is revenue expenditure. अब बहुत लोग गलत हैं इसमें. So few people are wrong here, few people are correct here. Let me make you understand why this is your revenue expenditure. See, depreciation recurring है. Each year, the machine is going to be charged with a depreciation amount. It is a recurring expenditure, so it will be considered as the revenue expenditure. ठीक है? And also depreciation is going to be charged in the pre-L account, so it's a revenue expenditure. Everyone clear about this? Everyone is clear about this? क्या repeat करना है? Expenditure. Okay, so everyone say clear. Okay. See, okay. So you want to basically know why this is not a deferred revenue expenditure. See, it's whatever expenditure you are doing to purchase a machinery, machinery is not your fixed asset. It is a real asset. Why you are going to consider it as a deferred revenue expenditure? Please understand this. It is not a fixed asset. It is a real asset. That's the reason. ठीक है? Clear? Everyone is clear about this? Why it is not a deferred revenue expenditure? ठीक है? Yes. Okay. Deferred expenditures are like your advertisement expenses, preliminary expenses. Preliminary expenses are those expenses which are done before the incorporation of the company. Before the incorporation of the company. And what happens na in the I'll give you an example. See, अगर हमने एडवर्टीजमेंट किया, अब अगर हम सारा का सारा एक्सपेंडिचर विदिन 1 ईयर अगर हम एक्सप्रेस कर देंगे, तो ये ट्रू एंड फेयर पिक्चर नहीं देगा हमारे फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स की. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर डिफरिंग इट टू लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम. ये रीजन है डिफर्ड रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर का. वी आर डिफरिंग आवर पेमेंट, क्योंकि हमें पता है अगर सारा हम, क्योंकि इस एडवर्टीजमेंट का बेनिफिट तो हमें आगे भी मिलेगा. कोई रियल एसेट नहीं आया हमारे पास, दैट इज करेक्ट, बट वी आर गोइंग टू गेट बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ दिस एडवर्टीजमेंट एक्सपेंस थ्रू आउट मल्टीपल ईयर्स. तो अगर हम एक ही साल में सारा एक्सपेंस रिकॉग्नाइज कर देंगे, तो वो ट्रू एंड फेयर पिक्चर नहीं देगा. एवरीवन इज क्लियर? मुझे पता था सबको डाउट होगा इसमें. ठीक है, वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस. हाँ, research and development, very good question, Prakhar, very good question. Research and development cost is also your deferred revenue expenditure. Very good, Prakhar, I'm really proud. बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है. Not EMI Prasad, but research and development will be your deferred revenue expenditure. That is very good. Okay, chalo, let's move ahead. We have done meaning of accounting, objectives of accounting, basic terms in accounting as well. Now let's do the accounting principle. We have done the MCQs as well. ठीक है, चलो. Let's move ahead with the accounting principles. चलो. So what is this accounting principle? Let's try to understand this first. Accounting principles are your rules and regulations that you must follow to prepare the accounts. And why? You might ask me, na sir, Why we need this accounting principle? We can do it on our own. No, you can't do it on your own. Why? Because suppose there are two people and both have to prepare the financial statement. This is Mr. A and this is Mr. B. Now they have been given the same transaction and they have prepared the financial statements on their own without following any principle. So when you are going to look at the reports now, the financial statement reports, they are not going to be uniform. You won't be able to comprehend them because they have not followed any principle. So for the same transaction as well, they both are preparing different statements because they have assumed something differently. He has his own assumptions and Mr. B has his own assumptions, right? So they are going to prepare their financial statement differently. Therefore, we need principles. हमें कुछ नियम पता होने चाहिए. We should know some rules, some regulations by following which both of them are going to prepare their accounts. Now, both of the accounts will be similar in nature. ठीक है, that's why we use accounting principles. Just मोटी बुद्धि से समझो कि they are rules and regulations. We are going to talk about accounting standards as well. But right now for the non-commerce students, try to understand with the मोटी बुद्धि. ठीक है, कि ये क्या है, रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस जो हमको दिए हैं, किसने, आईसीआई ने, एमसीए ने. एमसीए क्या होता है? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर. व्हाट इज आईसीआई? इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, सो दे हैव गिवन अस सम स्टैंडर्ड, सम प्रिंसिपल एंड वी मस्ट फॉलो देम एज एन अकाउंटेंट. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay, let's move ahead. Don't worry about the questions. Huh? I'm going to take each and everyone's questions one by one after the completion of this class. Don't worry about the question. Huh? Just write it down in the notebook. What is your question? I'm going to repeat it again. Just focus on the flow. Just be with me in the flow. That's how you will have a good understanding. And don't worry about the doubts, right? Okay. ठीक है, चलो. Now we have been given the names of these accounting principles are multiple. Like we also call them accounting concepts. Sometimes we call them accounting conventions. Sometimes we call them accounting postulates. Though there is a minute difference between them as well, but don't worry about that. For now, let's understand accounting principles are called concepts, conventions, and postulates. Okay. Now, from these accounting principles, we have more specific rules and regulations and we call them accounting standard. So you might want to ask me, sir, what is the difference between accounting principle and accounting standard? I'm going to give you an example. Don't worry about that. And these accounting standards, accounting standards are notified by the ICI, that is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. But for the large companies, for the big companies, for the listed companies, they are basically issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, right? But the basic point here is what is the difference between accounting principle and accounting standards? Let's understand this with the help of an example. Suppose you are riding your car in the highway, in the expressway, okay? And your parents have suggested you not to overspeed. Okay? It is expected from you that you are not going to overspeed in the highways and in the expressways. So this is a kind of accounting principles. These are the suggestions that your parents, that your friends, maybe your relatives are giving you. These are the suggestions. So they are kind of accounting principles. But when you're actually driving on the expressway or highways, what do you see there? You see signboards of the speed limit. You see the speed limit board that says you should be under 100 kilometer per hour or maybe 80 kilometer per hour. For the expressway, it is 80 kilometer per hour, but for the highways, it is around 60 kilometer per hour. So when it is written there in the signboards in the highway or expressway, then, and it is also, you should also know that if you overspeed you will be challan, you will be given a challan for that automatically through the cameras. Now this becomes the law. This is taking the shape of law. If you are going to avoid this law, you are going to have a penalty for not following the law. So this is taking the shape of accounting standards. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? How accounting principles and accounting standards are different. There is a minor difference between these two. So when the accounting principle becomes the law, and when it's notified by the ICI or the MCA, Minister of Corporate Affairs, we call it accounting standards. And as per the Companies Act 2013, every company must follow the accounting standards. So now it is mandatory for them to follow the accounting standards. Okay, so accounting principles are broader guidelines, but accounting standards on the other hand are very specific in nature, that must be followed. Everyone is clear? I want everyone to answer me in the chat section. Ki everyone is clear. Yeah, Akshar, very good. Principles are general guidelines. Very nice. Very everyone is clear. You know from the example very well. Okay, chalo, move ahead. What is this IFRS? See, yeah, just like we have the accounting standard in India, we have Indian accounting standard as well. That is IND-AS in India, notified by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We have the IFRS. IFRS are International Financial Reporting Standard, and they are going to notified by the. They are developed and maintained by the International Accounting Standards Board. So basically, what happens now? Ki few countries directly adopt the IFRS, that is International Financial Reporting Standards. They don't take so much pain of making their own accounting standards. But in India, we have the ICI body. So they basically brainstorm on these standards and they make standards as per the needs of Indian economy. So they do that. But sometimes other countries, or there are few countries who directly adopts this international financial reporting standards, right? So when we talk about international standards, we have this international financial reporting standards. We have other standard as well for that purpose, international accounting standards. We call it IAS. Don't be confused between Indian AS and IAS, huh? Though I have not included IAS here, but from the knowledge point of view, I'm telling you, we have international accounting standard as well, right? Okay. So what is the difference between IFRS and GAAP? That is generally accepted accounting principle. GAAP is usually followed in the USA. GAAP is usually followed in the USA, but IFRS are directly adopted in many countries, many European countries, and we follow Indian accounting standards for the large companies, but for the other enterprise or for the small companies, we follow accounting standard, right? Okay, chalo, let's move ahead. Now we have talked about the basic of accounting standards. Now let's talk about all the concept or principles in detail one by one. So first standard we have is, or first concept we have is not standard, huh? These are the principle, broader guidelines. When they are going to take the form of standards or the law, then we are going to call them standards. Right now we are discussing accounting principles and the concepts. Okay, so this is entity concept. First concept is entity concept. चलो मैं थोड़ा पानी पी लूँ. Okay, well, I will be discussing the concept note, then I'll drink water. Let's go ahead with the flow. So what is this entity concept? Entity concept is basically talks about the separate entity, that is your business owner, your shareholder, and your business are separate entity from each other. Please listen to me very carefully, huh? I'll give you an example here as well. Suppose a person brings some money. Suppose we are the members and shareholders. We need to start a business and we bring some money and in the form of capital into our business. Okay? But from the business point of view, this money, our money, will be liability for them. This is what entity concept says. Entity concept says business and the business owners are different entities. Whatever we are investing in our own company is going to consider that as the liability. This is what entity concept says. Okay? So suppose Mr. X started a business investing rupees 7 lakh, with which he purchased machinery for 5 lakh and maintained the balance in hand. The financial position will be, see, the liability is here. 7 lakh liability, though it's our own money and it's our own company, but even then also company is considering this money as liability, as the obligation. This is what entity or separate entity concept talks about. And we have in the asset cash and machine. Everyone is clear about this. Okay? There is another point here in the entity concept, that is key accounting records are made in the books of account from the point of view of the business unit, not from the point of view of the owner. So agar business is receiving any money and we are providing them money, we are not going to record it as the payment in our business. We are going to record it as the receive of capital, as the receiving of capital in our business. So accounts are going to be recorded from the point of view of the business, right? तो हम अगर अकाउंट्स कर रहे हैं तो वी आर गोइंग टू डू अकाउंट एज एन अकाउंटेंट, नॉट एज द शेयर होल्डर्स. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग. ठीक है, चलो. So we have case two as well. Suppose when the owner withdraws any money from the business for his personal expenses, this is called drawing. It will be treated as the reduction of the owner's capital. Suppose earlier the capital was 7 lakh from the business point of view. The liability is 7 lakh. Now we as a owner has withdrawn our 5,000 rupees for our personal expense, right? So now this will be reduced by 5,000 rupees and it will come down to 6 lakh 95,000, right? And also our cash is also going to reduce by 5,000 rupees, correct? Okay. Now let's talk about next concept. That is second concept. It is your money measurement concept. Now money measurement concept is very easy, right? It says that only those transactions which can be expressed in terms of money shall be recorded in the books of account. I'll give you an example. Suppose we are a company, we are in the management of the company, we have hired a new employee. So are we going to record it in our accounts book? Yes or no? Tell me in the chat section. We have hired suppose a statistic educator. So are we going to record it in our accounts book? So everyone is saying no. That's good. Yeah. So money measurement concept is like that. It says if it is going to be expressed in the money terms, then only it is going to be recorded in our accounts book. Easy enough. Nothing very technical. Okay. One more thing it want to emphasize, and that is there should be a common criteria to record transaction. Suppose I'll give you an example. Suppose we both are doing our computer business, right? Now you have 30 computers. Okay, you have 30 computers, and I also own 30 computers in my business. But your computer, each computer, basically cost 80,000. So it's a very good computer. Graphics are very high. You own a computer of 80,000 per computer. I have a computer which is worth of 40,000 per computer. Now, if in the accounts we are going to only record our asset as 80 computers, is it giving a true and fair view of the financial statement? If we are only going to record our asset on the absolute numbers, that is 80 computers, and you are also going to record it as 80 computers, so whatever the users of the financial statement is going to get confused that which business has more worth, because we are not recording it in the money terms, we are recording it in quantity terms. So that's the reason the assets are going to be recorded in the monetary terms. So it says all transaction must be recorded in the monetary unit only, not in the quantity terms. So 2 acres of land, you must record it on in the monetary terms only, not in the land terms. 2 acres, something square feet, not like that, right? You need to record it in the monetary terms. So this is what money measurement concept says. Okay, this is clear. Now let's talk about the periodicity concept. Very easy concept, but important one. Please understand this. Key, first of all, let's try to understand what is this accounting period. See what happens now. Accounting period is a span of time. It is the span of time. And we take this span of time to basically calculate our profit and loss for this span of time, for this particular period. So that's where the accounting concept kicks in. Accounting period concept kicks in. Suppose I'll give you an example why this accounting period concept is important. It says that businesses need to evaluate themselves on a periodical basis, on a fixed periodical basis. Suppose in 1 year, every company needs to have a profit loss statement, a balance sheet, a cash flow. Accounting concept says this thing, right? Why it is saying so? Suppose there are two companies. See, what is the purpose of accounting? We have discussed now कि users of the financial statement have to make the decisions out of the accounting reports, isn't it? We have discussed this thing. So now let's suppose there are two businesses. ठीक है? One business is preparing their accounting financial reports every 2 years, and another business is preparing their financial statement every 1 year. How the user is going to compare it? Because the profit is going to be shown by one company for 1 year and another company is showing profit for 2 year. How the user, suppose you are the investor, how you are going to judge which company is good and which company is not so good? How you are going to compare? Because they are not using the same time period. Are you getting the logic behind this? Why accounting period concept is there? So let's take a mathematical example as well. Now we have organization A. It is preparing financial statement every 2 years and it has shown a profit of 3 lakhs, isn't it? Now profit, now we have the business B as well, which is showing a profit of 1 lakh in first year. It is preparing the financial statement every 1 year. Now, how would you know which company is better? You might say, na, sir, organization A is having a profit of 3 lakh in 2 years. Therefore, the average of 1 year profit is 1.5 lakh. And on the other hand, this company B is only generating a profit of 1 lakh in single year. Therefore, we can conclude that organization A is better, right? You can say this thing to me, right? But let's suppose this after second year, you know, you come to know that the this business B has made a profit of 4 lakh in second year. Now, your judgment will be considered as very bad. Your judgment will be considered as very bad, isn't it? So therefore, accounting period concept is needed. Chalo. Now it's your turn to answer me. Everyone. Tell me, economic life of an enterprise is split into the periodic interval to measure its performance is as per what? It is as per what? Entity concept, matching concept, periodicity concept, or the accrual concept? Everyone. Why we are splitting the economic life of the enterprise into periodic intervals? Everyone. Oh, I've started to get the answers. That's very good. Nice. Everyone is correct. Everyone is correct. That's very good. Okay. I'm really proud. None of you are wrong. Chalo. Let's move ahead then. Okay. Let's move ahead. So we have next concept as accrual concept. We have no, we have done periodicity concept. Now we are going to do revenue recognition concept. Let's move ahead with the revenue recognition concept, and it's a very important concept. Huh? Listen to me very carefully. It is very important concept. Chalo. So in the revenue recognition concept, what happens? Ki you try to find out when you are going to realize your revenue. When you are going to realize your revenue. This is what revenue recognition says. And this is very important from the accountancy point of view, from the accounting point of view. Because your statement, your financial statement is going to show true and fair view only when you have realized your revenues correctly. So it says that it basically talks about the timing of the recognition of revenue. It says that, suppose I'll give you an example. We have this pen. I have sold this pen and this pen has been delivered to our buyer. Okay? This has been delivered to our buyer. Now, I have now right to receive payment from the buyer itself. Okay? I have established a right to receive the payment for this pen. Now I am going to recognize this as my revenue. Whether I have received the cash or not, that is not going to matter. Dhyan do, everyone here. Whether I have received the cash or not, that is not going to matter when I have sold this thing and it has been delivered to the customer or buyer. Now I have established my right to receive payment from you or from the other party. Now I am going to recognize my revenue. Okay? So this concept is focusing on the timing of recognition of revenue. Okay? So revenue relation means when the right to receive payment, when the right to receive the amount has occurred, then we are going to recognize it. So this is the example we have already discussed. Okay? Everyone is clear? So even if we are doing the credit sale, when we have delivered the good, okay, we are now in a position to realize our revenues. Definitely, we are not going to wait our cash to be received from them. We are not going to wait till that date. Okay, everyone is clear about that. Okay, so we have one more example. So we don't need to go to this example because we have already discussed earlier example. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's talk about the exception. Now let's talk about the exception. See, I have told you na ki when we have completed the our obligations of delivering the delivering the good to the customer, and when we have establishes the right to receive the payment from the customer, we are going to recognize the revenue. But there are few exceptions as well. Let's suppose we have some long term contract. Suppose we are building the dam. Okay, so we are building a dam, we are constructing a very big building, and that is going to be completed in 10 years. So we are going to deliver the complete project after 10 years. So do you really think we are going to realize, or we are going to recognize our revenue after 10 years? Will it be a true and fair view of our financial statements? No. It's a very long project, and we are doing a certain part of it each and every year. We are doing it proportionately, isn't it? So we are going to recognize our revenues proportionately as well in this particular case. Okay, this is the exception in the revenue recognition. Everyone is clear about this? Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, another exception is about the selling of items in installments. When we sell items on installments, na, when we receive the installment, or when the right to receive a particular installment is established, then we are going to recognize the revenue with relation to that installment only for a particular year. We're not going to recognize the overall selling price of the mobile or anything that we are selling on the installment basis. Correct? Right? Don't worry if you don't get the exceptions, but do remember the main thing here in the revenue recognition, that when we are establishing our right to receive the payment from our customer, then we are going to recognize it in a particular year. We are not going to wait for the cash disbursement from our customer. Right? This is the main point here. Okay, chalo, let's move ahead with the accrual concept. Now, you might say कि if you are from the commerce background, and if you are from the non-commerce background, let me explain accrual concept first of all. Accrual concept says the same thing as we have discussed in the revenue concept. Key revenues are going to be recognized as soon as we have established our right to receive it. But you might ask me, sir, what is the difference between accrual concept and revenue concept then? See, there is a difference. Revenue only talks about the revenue only, but accrual concept talks about the expenses as well. It says that accrual concept says that when when you have realized that you need to pay something to outside party, you are going to recognize it in the accounting period itself. You are not going to wait for actual cash disbursement to our customer. Suppose, I'll give you an example. Suppose we have purchased our raw material to manufacture this pen from our supplier. Okay, we have purchased the raw material. Now we have to pay him, isn't it? We have purchased this raw material on credit basis, but we have to pay it afterwards, isn't it? So that expense is going to be recognized instantly. We are not going to wait for actual cash disbursement, right? We are not going to wait for disbursement in our next year. We are going to recognize this transaction in this particular year itself. So the difference between accrual concept and revenue concept is that revenue only talks about the revenue recognition, but accrual talks about all the transaction, whatever is happening. It says that you don't need to consider cash. You need to consider the transaction. You need to consider the economic event itself. If it is happening right now, you need to record it right now. You don't wait for cash disbursement, or you don't wait for cash, basically receiving of cash. Got this thing? Everyone, let me know in the chat section. Did you get the difference between accrual concept and the that revenue relation concept? Everyone in the chat section. Oh, everyone is so intelligent. Okay, I'm really proud to see that everyone is clear. Okay, that's very good. Chalo. Uh, Now let's move ahead. So I have told you the difference, right? Okay. So let's talk about the example as well. Now, Mr. JD, and you are going to answer this thing in the chat section. I'm just going to read out the example. Solution is going to be provided by you only. Mr. JD buys clothing of 50,000. Remember this thing. We are JD buyers and we are buying clothing of 50,000. But we are only paying the cash of 20,000. Okay? And we are selling it at 60,000, and consumer is only paying us 50,000. Tell me, what should we recognize as our revenue, and what should we recognize as our cost? Tell me in the chat section. Should we recognize our revenue as what? 60,000 or only 50,000, right? Tell me about the revenue and write it as like that, revenue dash cost dash in the chat section. Okay, let me check it out. I've started to get the answers. Okay, 1560, right. That's good. So everyone is correct. So क्या बात है. Good, very good. So now I'm confident enough कि you know what is accrual concept. So that's very good, huh? Chalo, I'm really proud to say this कि everyone is very attentive. Yeah. So see, we are basically buying clothing of 50,000, though we are paying 20,000 only, but that is not going to matter to us. In our present accounting period, we are going to recognize our cost as 50,000 only. And as far as selling is concerned, we are going to recognize our revenue at 60,000 only, though we are only getting paid 50,000. Okay, everyone understand this thing? Let's move ahead. Chalo. So we have done this thing. Let's talk about the matching concept. So matching concept says important. हाँ इसका question आ सकता है exam में. I will write it here, matching concept. And it is very basically very technical as well. Listen to me very carefully. Huh? In this, everyone should focus here. Okay. Chalo. Let me tell you what is this matching concept. Please understand this. You know what is accounting period concept. So it is related to that as well. You have the accounting period. Listen to me very carefully. You have the accounting period now. Suppose you have financial year 23 to 24. Okay. And I'll give you an example. I'll discuss this thing with the help of an example, so you have a better clarity for this. Suppose we have bought this 10 toys. Suppose we have bought 10 toys in this particular year itself. Okay, listen to me very carefully. But we have sold only 8 toys. Now let's suppose one toy cost 11 per toy. So for how many rupees we have bought our toys? 10 into 11, isn't it? 110 rupees. Okay. Till now, everything is clear. We have bought 10 toys and we have bought these 10 toys at an amount of 110 rupees. But important point here is we are only selling 8 toys to customers. Okay. Everyone is clear. Now, for how many rupees we are selling, that is not going to matter. Right now, listen to me what I'm saying. Now we are only selling 8 toys. Now this matching concept says for this particular year, whatever we are selling, cost related to only those items. Focus, huh? Whatever items we are selling, cost related to only those items is going to be recognized in this particular year. Chamka? मतलब कि if we have sold 8 toys, then we are going to recognize our cost for this particular accounting period only for 8 toys, not for 10 toys. मतलब we are not going to recognize our cost at 110 rupees. We are going to recognize our cost at 8 into 10, that is 80 rupees. No matter at what price we are selling it. Forget about the selling price. Huh? Focus on the cost price. If we are selling 8 toys, if we are generating, now I am using the technical term, huh? Matching concept says, if we are generating revenue from these 8 toys, so cost related to only these 8 toys is going to be considered for cost in our accounting period. Everyone is clear? Chalo batao mujhe. Everyone is clear or not? Forget about the selling price. Only focus on what we have to recognize as our cost for a particular accounting period. Everyone is clear? In the chat section. Yes, clear. All the non-commerce account student as well, huh? I want everyone to answer. If you say no, I will repeat it. If you don't get this, if you are from the non-commerce or commerce, if you say no, I am going to repeat it because I know this is important, very important. Ha, Akshay, very good. Sales and cost has to be matched. So whatever you are generating, whatever revenue you are generating for certain goods, only cost related to those goods is going to be recognized as cost. Okay, everyone is saying. Karthik is saying, I have a doubt. Okay, so I'm going to give you a mathematical example as well. So in this case, what is happening? See, we have sold 8 toys at 11 per toys. So what will be the profit? You might say, sir, 88 rupees we have sold at 11. So we are generating the revenue of 88. That's good. And we have purchased the toys at rupees 110. So we have the profit of minus 12. No, wrong, absolutely wrong. Why it is wrong? Because see, selling price is correct. You have sold 8 toys at 11 rupees per toy. So revenue generation, revenue price is correct, 88. But the cost is incorrect. Why? Because you are taking the cost of overall 10 rupees, overall 10 toys. In this case, it is 10 rupees per toy. So you are taking the cost as rupees 100 in this particular example. Okay? But you don't have to take the total cost. You have to take the cost of only 8 toys because you are selling the toys. You are selling only 8 toys. So the cost of 8 toys is 8 into 10, that is 80. So you are going to recognize cost as 80 only. So 88 minus 8, that is the profit of 8 rupees. Now clear? Now clear? Karthik? Yeah. Okay. That's good. Chalo. Okay, that's very good. Chalo, let's move ahead with the this example. But okay, chalo, let's take this example as well. Because if there are some non-commerce background as well, the student as well. Okay, so PK started a cloth business. He purchased 10,000 pieces garments. ठीक है, 10,000 pieces garments at rupees 100 per piece. Listen to me very carefully. He has purchased 100 he has purchased 10,000 pieces at 100 rupees per piece, but he has only sold 8,000. Tell me the chat section. Are we going to recognize our cost for 10,000 piece of garments or 8,000 piece of garments? If you know this, rest of the mathematical things are very easy. If you know the foundation, na, do we have to take our cost for the 8,000 or 10,000 piece of garment? Rest everything is easy. Calculation is very easy, na? Okay, tell me the chat section. Okay, everyone is saying 80,000. That's good. Nice. So everyone is clear about it, right? So now calculation is very easy. Now, what is the amount at which you are going to recognize your cost? 8,000 multiplied by 100, 8 lakh. Okay. Okay. Everyone is clear. Okay. Let's move ahead. Chalo. Now it's your turn to answer me for the MCQs. I have included so many MCQs purposely. I wanted to check you as well. I wanted to evaluate you as well, and you need to evaluate yourself as well. Chalo. Question is saying Mohan purchased goods worth rupees 15 lakh. Oh, answer is there. No. Purchased goods worth rupees 15 lakh and sold 4/5 of the goods for 18 lakh. He has only sold 4/5 of the goods. That means he is going to consider only 4/5 of the 15 lakh for the cost. And that will be 12 lakh. Yeah, isn't it? Yes. Chalo, cost will be 12 lakh. And he has met expenses worth rupees 2,50,000. So we are going to add 2,50,000 as well. So overall cost will be 14,50,000, isn't it? Okay. He counted net profit as 3,50,000. Obviously, 14,50,000 is your cost, and your selling price, your revenue is 18 lakh. What should be your net profit? 3,50,000. But what is the question? Question is asking you which of the accounting concept was followed by him. Tell me in the chat section. Entity, periodicity, matching, and accrual. Tell me in the chat section. Oh, everyone is saying matching. That's good. He is basically following matching concept. Why? Because he has only considered his cost of purchasing goods as rupees 12 lakh only by doing 4/5 of the 15 lakh, isn't it? So he's using the matching concept. Okay, that's good. Chalo, tell me the answer of next question. Revenue from the sale of product is generally realized in the period in which, ये बताओ मुझे. Revenue from the sale of products. Again, everyone is correct. Okay, that's good. When the sale is made, that's good. That's good. Everyone is correct. Okay, chalo, chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं फिर. Everyone, if everyone knows this thing, then it's very good. Chalo. I'm really happy to see you all are very attentive in the class. Chalo. Okay, let's move ahead with our going concern concept. So this matching concept was important, huh? Let me write it here. This is important. Accrual is also important. Now going concern is very easy. So whenever we as an accountant are going to do accounting for any business or for our business, what we are going to suppose, we are going to suppose that our business is going to continually run for the foreseeable future. It is going to run continually. So that's how, by assuming this thing, we are going to do our accounting. This is what going concern concept is. And what is the impact? What is the application of this going concern concept? Let's understand this with the help of an example. Suppose we purchase a computer for rupees 50,000 and it will be used for next 5 years, isn't it? Now, suppose we are assuming going concern. So is it correct to recognize this expense of 50,000 in a single year itself? No, because this is an asset and we are going to get benefit out of this asset for the multiple years, for the multiple future years. So we have to basically recognize this as asset, and then we are going to apply depreciation each year for this asset. So we have to depreciate it for the 5 years. So when we are going to divide 50,000 from 5, we are going to have 10,000 as our depreciation or as our expense for each year till 5 years. So that's the use of, that's the application of going concern concept, right? But suppose we are not assuming going concern. So we are not assuming that we are going to continue for next year as well. So what we need to do? So we need to recognize this complete 50,000 expense in this year itself, though it will not be correct recognition. Huh? Please remember, I'm just giving an example. Don't do this in the examination. Ki sir has said, if you have not assumed the going concern, you have to assume the going concern. This is the fundamental accounting principle. This is the fundamental accounting principle. You have to assume this thing. Okay? Then only you will continue your accounting, the recording of your accounting. Okay? Chalo. Okay, let's move ahead. Chalo. Let's move to the next concept that says cost concept. Easy enough. So it says that cost concept requires that all the assets that are recorded in the books of accounts at their purchase price will include, which includes cost of acquisition, transportation, installation, and making the asset ready to use. Basically, it says na ki you have to record your asset at only cost. The crux of this cost concept is this only. You have to record your assets at cost only. Whatever is the market price, that is not going to matter. Okay? This is the crux of this cost concept. Suppose you have bought a machinery at 5 crores in the 1990, and at present its value may be different, but you are going to recognize it at 5 crore, though you are going to deduct depreciation from it. That is not going to be a discussion for right now, that because we are discussing the cost concept. Okay? Though you are going to deduct depreciation from it, but you are not going to take the market value, right? So it is going to be recognized at cost only. Okay? Though its market value is going to change. So easy enough, nothing very technical here. Okay. Important again, dual aspect is important because by understanding this aspect, you are going to understand the accounting equation as well. So now you have to listen to me very carefully. And one thing I want to tell you, we have this email ID of hello at, I'm going to write it in the chat section now, so that if you have any doubt left now, so you can do that. You can ask me in the in this email ID as well. Okay? So let me just write it down in the chat section. Hello at edutap.co.in. And do give me feedback as well, key what you have learned in this class, so that I can implement those things in our next class, so that you have understood all these things through the examples. You like the examples, you like the MCQs, so that I'm going to implement in our next class as well. So we have next class in our basically we have next class today, tomorrow itself, and then we have the next class day after tomorrow itself. So to give me feedback as well in this hello@edutype.co.in. Everyone got the email ID now in the chat section? Just confirm me. Everyone got the email ID now? Yes. Okay. 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 Chalo, let's move ahead. So do give me the feedback as well. Ki what you like in the class. Was it helpful or not? What you have learned in this class? What you love in this class? Okay. Everything. Chalo. Let's move ahead with the dual aspect concept. Okay. So this aspect says, dual aspect concept says that every transaction has a twofold effect, at least twofold effect. That means any transaction, each and every transaction is going to impact at least two accounts. It is going to impact at least two accounts. Okay, so it is going to be recorded at least two places. Let's understand this with the help of an example. Suppose Mr. X started a business investing rupees 7 lakh. Okay, and business kept the same as cash in hand. So here two accounts are getting impacted. First account is capital, because we are the owners, we are the shareholders, we are investing our money in the company itself. Na, it is our company, so it will be considered as the capital by the company. So one account that is getting impacted here is capital. Another account that is getting impacted here is cash, because we are contributing our capital in the form of cash only. Got it? Okay, chalo. So two accounts are getting impacted here, and as you can see here, one is liability side, one is asset side, and you can see here that both are matching as well. This is 7 lakh and this is 7 lakh as well. It has several implications. We will get to know. We will discuss that implication as well in our further slides. Don't worry. For now, understand this thing. You see, assets and liabilities are equal, isn't it? Okay. Let's take another example. Now, out of this 7 lakh that we have invested in our business, now, the manager purchased machinery for rupees 5 lakh, and balance he has maintained in the cash. So now how our financial position is going to look like this. Liability, liability is same, capital is same, 7 lakh only. But earlier your cash was 7 lakh rupees. So out of this 7 lakh, you have purchased the machinery worth rupees 5 lakh. So your cash outflow is of 5 lakh. So out of 7 lakh, when you are going to deduct 5 lakh, how much is left? 2 lakh. And your machinery, you have received your machinery for rupees 5 lakh. So machinery will be of 5 lakh because it is an asset. So it is included in the asset. Again, as you can see here, na, the total is correct. 7 lakh here as well and 7 lakh here as well. So this is what we call balance sheet. Okay. So two accounts are getting impacted, cash account and the machinery account, not the capital account. In this particular transaction, capital account is not getting impacted, only cash account and the machinery account. Chalo, let's move ahead with the third example. X started a business investing rupees 7 lakh, with which he purchased machinery for 5 lakh. 5 lakh, we have done so. Then he took a loan of 2 lakh and bought a truck. Now he took a loan as well and he purchased a machinery from it. Now, please understand this. Capital is correct, 7 lakh. Cash was 2 lakh, correct. Machinery was 5 lakh, that we have done in the earlier slide. Now he has taken a loan as well. Loan is what? Loan is obligation or resource. It is an obligation, obviously. So it will be included in the liability side, isn't it? So loan is your 2 lakh. Okay. Now, out of this 2 lakh, now, he has invested whole of this 2 lakh to purchase the truck itself. Now, he has the truck. So now he has truck as well. Okay. So your truck is there for rupees 2 lakh. Okay. Right. So you have again the balance sheet matching or not? 7 plus 2, 9 and 5 plus 2. Yes, again it is matching. Okay, correct here. Chalo. So one account is loan account, another account is truck account. So this was the complete scenario here. We have already discussed this thing. But now I must introduce you to the accounting equation, because now you know कि at least two accounts are getting impacted. Sometimes assets account are getting impacted and sometimes liabilities are getting impacted, but overall they are getting matched each and every time. For every transaction, after every transaction, the total of assets and the total of liabilities are getting matched, isn't it? Is it now? So what does this accounting equation says? It says that total asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Let me show you once again this thing. Total asset is equal to capital plus liability. This is the accounting equation we get from the dual aspect concept. Okay, this is the accounting equation. Always remember, asset side is always going to be equal to the liability side, and liability side includes your outside liability as well, and as well as your capital as well. Okay, chalo. So this we have done. Okay, so let's take few more example to understand this in a better way. How the liabilities and asset sides are always matching. Let's understand this. The business buys land worth rupees 5 lakh. Okay, we have the balance sheet, we have the initial balance sheet, and now business is buying the land worth rupees 5 lakh. 1 lakh is getting paid in cash and the rest is financed through loan. So what is going to be the entry? Listen to me very carefully. 5 lakh. So you are going to add into your asset side land asset worth rupees 5 lakh. That is correct because you are receiving the land. That is correct. ठीक है जी. But for this 5 lakh, you have given 1 lakh as cash. So now your 1 lakh cash is going to be brought down. So out of this 2 lakh, if you deduct 1 lakh, how much is left? Only 1 lakh. Easy enough, very easy. Now, rest is financed through loan. So you have taken a loan from the bank or any financial institution. That is not going to matter. Okay. Just a minute. I have to pin myself. I think I'm not pinned. Okay, I'm pinned. Okay, okay. So you have what did I say? Okay, you have taken a loan of rupees for 4 lakh, isn't it? Yes. So now you can see you have overall impact of 4 lakh in the liability side, isn't it? And when you are going to add it, this is going to be equal. 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 4, 13. And you have in the asset side as well. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to tell me what is the answer of first MCQ for the concept check question. Question says, A purchased a car for 5 lakh rupees, making a down payment of 1 lakh and signing 4 lakh bill payable due in 60 days. As a result of this transaction, what is going to happen? Listen to this, read out this question very carefully. Huh? You have purchased a car, okay, of rupees 5 lakh. You have done the down payment of 1 lakh. Okay, so it is asking you what is going to be the total impact. Total asset is going to be increased by 5 lakh. Total liabilities are going to be increased by 4 lakh. Total assets are increased by 4 lakh and corresponding increase in liabilities 4 lakh. So if you have understood the accounting equation very correctly now, you don't even have to do the calculation here. See, I have told you every time we are doing a transaction, at least 2 accounts are going to be impacted. Here, what is happening? Asset account, car account is getting increased by 5 lakh. So asset is getting increased by 5 lakh, but we are paying a down payment of 1 lakh. So cash is going 1 lakh. So cash is decreasing by 1 lakh. So overall impact on the asset side will be of 4 lakh. So total asset will be increased by 4 lakh, not by 5 lakh, huh? Not by 5 lakh, by 4 lakh, because car has increased the asset by 5 lakh and cash has decreased the asset by 1 lakh. So overall impact will be 4 lakh. And if your assets are increasing by 4 lakh, so obviously your liabilities are also going to be increased by 4 lakh. And how? Because they have signed a 4 lakh bill. So liabilities is also going to be increased by 4 lakh. So let me check in the chat section. Who are correct here? Okay. Everyone is correct. Okay, someone is saying, okay, few people are saying B. So should I repeat it? Prachi, should I repeat it? Okay, Kajal is saying, sir, ye samajh nahi aaya. Let me just repeat it in Hindi as well. Okay, let me repeat it in Hindi as well. Okay. See, listen to me very carefully. You are purchasing a car, okay? You have the asset side and you have the liability side. Listen to this. Look at this balance sheet carefully. In the asset side, now you are purchasing a car. So if you are purchasing a car, it is going to be increasing your asset side with rupees 5 lakh rupees. अब आप क्या करोगे कि कार एंटर कर दोगे यहाँ 5 lakh rupees का, isn't it? Now, see here what is written. For purchasing this car at rupees 5 lakh, you are paying 1 lakh rupees in cash. तो कैश आपका जो भी होगा पहले से यहाँ, whatever cash is there in your balance sheet, that is going to be decreased by 1 lakh. So it will be minus 1,000 here. In the cash, it will be minus 1,000 here. ठीक है, तो overall impact, what is the overall impact in the asset side? 5 lakh minus 1 lakh becomes 4 lakh. Clear? अब आ जाओ liability side में. How liability is getting increased by 4 lakh? See, you have signed a bill of 4 lakh. You have basically taken a loan of rupees 4 lakh. तो अगर आप loan ले रहे हो, तो obviously it is your obligation, ना? So it is going to be included in the liability side. So here it will be loan, and you are going to write it as a loan, and the amount will be 4 lakh. So your liabilities are getting increased by 4 lakh. So overall impact, total assets increased by 4 lakh, corresponding liabilities are increasing by 4 lakh. Now clear everyone? अब बताओ clear है? See, okay, Vikas is saying, sir, B is also correct. See, B is partially correct. That's the beauty of competitive exam. You need to take most appropriate answer. I never said कि B is incorrect. I said it. Did I say कि B is incorrect? But C is most appropriate here. ठीक है, everyone is clear. अब मैंने हिंदी में भी समझा दिया. Kajal is clear now. Okay, Prachi clear? You have told me to repeat it. Prachi clear. Okay, chalo. Let's move ahead with the second concept question. And now you are going to answer me in this question as well. Capital brought in by the proprietor is an example of what? So we have a business, we are a proprietor, we are bringing in the capital. What is going to happen? Tell me. And we are bringing in the capital in the form of cash. Just consider this thing, right? चलो बताओ क्या होगा? What is going to happen? Increase in asset, increase in liability, increase in liability, decrease in asset, increase in asset and decrease in liability. What is going to happen? This is very easy question. Huh? Increase in asset and simultaneously liabilities are also going to increase. Very easy, because they have to be matched with each other. So if asset is increasing, liabilities are also going to increase. So almost everyone has done this correctly. Okay, that's very good. Chalo, I can see you all are very intelligent, huh? You have now the good understanding of the basic of accountancy. ठीक है? Chalo. I'm hoping that I'm getting the answers from the non-commerce background as well. Okay, I'm hoping this thing because I think every one of you are answering me correctly. So that includes your non-commerce background student as well. Chalo, ठीक है. Tell me the answer of this question. Assets are held in the business for the purpose of what? Assets. ठीक है? Don't include the inventory in these assets. ठीक है? Overall concept. Take it as an fixed asset. Assets are held in the business for the purpose of what? A resale, conversion into cash, or earning revenue. Tell me what is the most appropriate answer here. Okay, I've started to get the answers. Okay. Okay. Again, everyone is correct. That's good. Chalo, very nice. चलो फिर मैं आंसर क्या बताऊं. If everyone knows the answer, earning revenue is the purpose of the assets. ठीक है, चलो. Let's move ahead with the next question. If an individual asset is increased as in the asset liability, if we are increasing the individual asset, if we are increasing the individual asset, overall asset is also going to be increased, na? But it is asking there will be corresponding what? Increase of another asset or increase of capital, decrease of another asset or increase of liability, decrease of specific liability or decrease of capital. I know कुछ लोग तो इसको गलत करेंगे and I have to explain this thing to you. Tell me what is the answer of this question. How they are going to be matched? How liability and assets are going to be matched? Let me check the chat section. See, I have told you ना कि कुछ लोग गलत करेंगे. Okay, but most of you are correct. I can see. Okay, most of you are correct. Only one or two are incorrect. Okay. So let me tell you the answer as well. चलो ठीक है बस करो. चलो let me tell you the answer. See, let's take the previous example. हमने कार खरीदी थी. We have bought a car. ठीक है. तो car has been increased by 1 lakh. So it is asking there will be corresponding what? So there will be two things to match this balance sheet. Either it can happen that liabilities are increasing simultaneously worth rupees 1 lakh. It can happen. ठीक है. So increase of liability देखते हैं या increase of capital देखते हैं कहाँ पर है, because it is increasing ना. So where it is increasing of liabilities, here it is. Yeah, ठीक है. Or increasing of capital is also here. So now we have eliminated third option. We are left with two option. Option number A and option number B. Now listen to me very carefully here. Huh? Suppose your liabilities are not increasing. Suppose when you have increased your asset of worth rupees 1 lakh, your liabilities are not increasing. Then how you are going to balance assets and liability? Then it might happen that you are paying this 1 lakh through cash. So your cash is going to decrease by 1 lakh, isn't it? So now read out the option. Increase of another asset? No, not at all. If one asset is increasing, another asset has to decrease, right? So B option says decrease of another asset. Yes. Everyone is clear about that. Whoever has not given me the answer, now everyone is clear. ठीक है, चलो. Let's move ahead with the, okay. We have another question. Chalo. You have to answer me this as well. Chalo, we have question is asking you, consider the following data pertaining to Alpha Limited. Particulars are saying cost of machinery purchased on April 1st, 2016 is 10 lakh. Installation charges is 1 lakh. Market value is 12 lakh. But cost concept says market value even doesn't matter. Okay? While finalizing the annual accounts, if the company values the machinery at 12 lakh, it is valuing the machinery at 12 lakh. It is doing it wrong because it is doing it at the market price. So, which of the following concept is violated by the Alpha Limited? I know everyone will be correct here. So, I have started to get the answers. So, which is the concept which is violated by the Alpha Limited? Everyone? Okay, so everyone is correct. Chalo. Very good. So we have the answer of cost. So they are violating basically the cost concept because they have to take the cost of the machinery or the asset at the cost itself. That is 10 lakh plus 1 lakh. And after deducting the depreciation, they can do so. Chalo. Now we have the full disclosure concept. In the full disclosure concept, what we are going to do? Chalo, listen to me very carefully. Easy concept, but you might see a question on that. Full disclosure says all the material information, all the material and relevant facts that is going to impact the financial performance of the enterprise. We are only going to record those events or transactions. We are not going to basically record immaterial transactions. Okay? We are not going to record immaterial transactions. Those transactions which are material in nature. Material means, sir, what do we mean by material? Materials are those transactions, basically those transactions which are, if we exclude those transactions, that is going to impact, or if we include those transactions, that is going to impact the decisions of the users of the financial statement. Those transactions are called material transactions, which can impact the decisions of the financial users of the financial statement. बात समझ में आई? What are material information? ठीक है. So if we can express it in the monetary terms, and if the amount and if the aspect of the transaction is economical and that can impact the decision of the decision maker, we are going to disclose it, right? We are not going to include the immaterial information. ठीक है. Suppose, again same example, suppose manager has fired an employee due to basically non-performance. We are not going to include it in the accounting statements, though it can impact the decision, but it is immaterial as well, right? We have so many employees. Suppose you have 1000 employee and he has fired only one employee. How it can affect the decision of the users of the financial statements? So we are not going to record it in our financial statements. ठीक है? चलो. Now let's talk about the consistency concept. चलो. Consistency concept says when any organization, while preparing the accounts, have followed a certain principle, and or I can say, if they have followed a certain policy, they have to follow it year after year. But there is an exception as well, though that exception is not written here, but I'm going to tell you what exception is. So the concept says, if our company has followed a principle or policy for a particular year, we must follow it year after year. We can't change it unless, listen to me very carefully, ध्यान दो, unless the change of accounting policy basically facilitating more appropriate presentation of financial statement. अगर ये हिंदी में बता देता हूँ, अगर हमारी पॉलिसी चेंज करने पे जो अकाउंट जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स है वो और अच्छा रिप्रेजेंटेशन दे रहा है हमें, और ट्रू एंड फेयर पिक्चर दे रहा है, तो हम चेंज कर सकते हैं, अदरवाइज वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज इट. ठीक है. सो कंसिस्टेंसी कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी इजी. You have followed a policy, you have to follow it year after year. चलो मेरे को आंसर दो फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इन दी चैट सेक्शन. Konica Enterprises follows the written down value method of depreciating machinery year after year due to what? So why Konica Enterprises is following only written down value method year after year? Why don't Konica Enterprise just change the accounting policy? Why don't it use the why can't it use the other methods of depreciation? Tell me in the chat section. Okay, so I have started to get the answers. Let me check the chat section, huh? Everyone is saying C, but some people are saying A. Uh, See, Kajal, A is ठीक है, partially correct. But when you have to take the most appropriate answer, na, most appropriate answer, you have to take the consistency because there is no concept called comparability. हाँ, comparability is the implication of consistency. That is correct. ठीक है, काजल? हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं कंसिस्टेंसी की वजह से, मतलब कंसिस्टेंसी का implication है compatibility, but the most appropriate answer here is consistency because concept is consistency, its implication is compatibility. Chalo, and most of the people are correct here, only one or two are confused between compatibility and consistency. Chalo, let's move ahead. Answer is C. Now let's talk about the conservation concept. This is also called prudence concept. And what is this prudence? Prudence means the typical English. In the typical English, prudence means when you try to play safe, when you try to avoid risk, what is right as per your wisdom. Okay, so that is what prudence is. So that is also applied in the accountancy as well. So you have to be conservative while preparing the accounts. What do you mean by that? Suppose suppose we have some anticipated losses. We are accountants and we anticipated that in the future now there might be some loss. We have a debtor and he might not be able to pay us money. He might not be able to pay us money in the next financial year or in this financial year. So we are going to recognize this as the provision for bad debt. We are going to recognize this doubt, this anticipation of loss in this particular year itself. We are just anticipating, but even then we are recognizing it. Okay, that's what conservation says. And when we talk about the profit now, if we anticipate if there would be a profit in the future, we are not going to recognize it. Therefore we are conservative. Na conservation means ki we are being conservative while preparing our accounts. We are being prudent. We are not taking any risk. We are playing safe ki we have to show our financial statement as a very true and fair view of the financial statements. So if we have anticipated losses, we are going to recognize it. But if we have anticipated profits, we are not going to recognize it. That's the crux of the conservation concept. Chalo, theek hai. Let's move ahead with our objectivity concept. This is a easy concept. Let's read it out. The concept of objectivity requires that accounting transactions should be recorded in the objective manner. That is, it should be free from the bias of the accountants and others. So I'll give you an example. Suppose we are the accountants and management tells us that okay, Santosh sir, prepare accounts in such a way that our profit will be more. Just do some manipulation and so that our profits will be more. And why we are doing so? Because we get more investors, we get more funds from the venture capitalist. So that this is not correct. So objectivity concept says कि it should be prepared in the objective manner, whatever standards I have given you and whatever principle have been stated. Though there could be manipulation, but you should not be doing that. You should not be doing that. Okay? So objectivity said it should be objective in nature. It should not be subjective. It should not be based on biasness. Okay? Easy enough. Nothing very technical here. And how you are going to basically ensure that there is an objectivity by looking at the vouchers, supporting documents. Suppose we have bought something from our suppliers. Okay? We have bought something from our suppliers. So he will give us bill na. So that bill will be the proof that we have done our accounting correctly. By looking at that voucher or bill, we can say that our preparation of account is very objective in nature. Okay? Correct? Very easy, nothing very technical. Let's talk about the materiality. Materiality says that we should only focus on material facts and immaterial facts can be omitted. Very easy. And materiality is going to be dependent upon the nature, not only amount, nature of the transaction and the amount of the transaction. Both of them, when we combine them, if it is of such importance that if we choose to skip it by not recording it in our account book, so the decisions can be impacted of the financial user, so it is wrong to do. So we have to record it if it is material, and materiality is going to be dependent upon the nature and the amount involved. So if amount is very big, you need to record it. If nature is such that it is very important to show, I'll give you an example of the nature as well. Suppose someone has sued our company. Someone has sued our company for let's suppose 10 lakh rupees, and our company's total worth is 50 lakh rupees. So is it material or not? Yes, it is material, because suing a company on a copyright basis could be an important aspect that that can be useful for the users of the financial statements that are reading it. So we have to include that information as well in our accounting records through the disclosure. Through the disclosure, we can include that thing. Okay. So the materiality is going to dependent upon the nature and the amount involved. Okay. So let's take the example as well. Money spent on the creation of additional capacity of a theater would be a material fact. Why it is a material fact? Let me know in the chat section. Why money spent on the creation of the additional capacity of the theater? Because see, when we are increasing our capacity of the theater, it is going to benefit us in the long run. Now our future revenues will be more because we are increasing our capacity. So it is a material fact. So it should be included in the accounts book, isn't it? Information about the huge expenditure on training is also a material fact. But let's talk about some immaterial fact. Information about planning a picnic for the employees is immaterial for the users of the information. Is it relevant? Is it material? No. We are planning a picnic trip for our employees. It is not so relevant and material from the prospect of the users of the financial information. ठीक है? Tax authority क्या करेगी जान के कि employees picnic में जा रहे हैं कि नहीं जा रहे हैं? ठीक है? चलो. Okay, this is important. This slide is important as well. We have certain fundamental accounting assumptions as well. These three accounting assumptions are fundamental accounting assumption: going concern, consistency, and accrual. And what do I mean by fundamental accounting assumption when I say to you that these are considered as fundamental, others are not so fundamental? What do I actually mean by this? Let's understand this thing. See, fundamentally means these principles you need to assume even before starting your accounting process, or during your accounting process, you need to consider these assumptions to be correct. Now, these are not only assumptions, these are converted into accounting standards as well. Now, these are mandatory. So, they have been given legal backing as well in the form of accounting standards. We are not going to discuss right now the accounting standards which deals with a specific concept, but let's try to understand this thing in a broad manner, or in a foundation, or in a foundation level. Ki going concern, consistency, and accrual has a legal backing as well. Ki if you are not following these accounting assumptions or concept na, so there will be penalty imposed on you. So it has the legal backing as well. So you have to consider this thing correct, and you have to assume this thing. Then you have to prepare your accounts. Okay, so that's why they are fundamental accounting assumptions: going concern, consistency, and accrual. Okay, chalo. See, I have written the accounting standard as well. Accounting standard 1. But don't get afraid of the accounting standards. Huh? I have already told you when principles are converted into the laws, then we briefly, or we broadly call them accounting standards when they have the legal backing. Okay, when they are notified by the MCA or by the ICI. So don't get afraid of the AS accounting standards. We are going to look at the accounting standards as well in detail in our future classes. Don't worry about that. Okay, chalo. So AS1 binds the going concern and the consistency concept, and accrual concept is legally bound by the formation of AS18. We are not going to get into the details of accounting standards right now. Okay. So we have already discussed this thing. Let's move ahead. Okay. So now we have the concept check questions. Okay. Chalo, tell me. Very important question. We are going to discuss PYQs as well. That has actually been asked in the examination. Huh? But before that, answer this question to me. Answer this question, that in case of gold, revenue is going to be recognized in the accounting period in which the gold is what? Delivered, sold, mined, identified to be mined. I know that few people might get this thing incorrectly, because this is a very technical question. This is the question of revenue recognition. I have told you one thing, I'm going to repeat it again. When you are going to recognize your revenue, you are a mining company, okay? You are a mining company. You have mined your gold. So have you established your right to have the cash, or there is some other thing for assurance you need to have with you to recognize this thing as your revenue? Tell me in the chat section. I have started to get the answers. Okay. Let me see the answers. I knew most of you would be incorrect. Okay. Not delivered, not sold, not identified to be mined. It should be mined. Now let me tell you why. Now let me tell you why. I have included this tough question as well. Why? Because I needed to make sure that if any complex or any out of the box question has been asked in the examination, then also you will be able to apply your concepts. See, in the case of gold, suppose you are a gold mining company. Tell me one thing: when we have mined our gold, क्या गोल्ड और कैश में कुछ डिफरेंस है? गोल्ड इज सच अ लिक्विड असेट मैन. You don't need any approval for anything. मतलब you don't have any doubt कि you are not going to convert this gold into cash. There is no doubt in your mind. You have right to receive you have basically established an authentic information that you are going to receive the cash by selling this thing. Gold is such a precious metal and it is so much, you can say, in demand. Even if you have right now gold you don't have to look at the market. You can sell it to the jewelers, any jewelers, they will happily buy it. And if you're mining something, if you're a mining company, then why you are waiting to basically sell it? You can basically recognize it at the current rate as well, right? So now you get this thing why we are why we are recognizing this in the case of gold. This is the exception case. I have given you basically, not the normal thing, right? See, okay. One aspirant is asking me, अगर कि what not if you are not a mining company, if you are not a mining company, why you are mining the gold? It's a logical na. If you are a mining company, then only you are going to have an equipment for the mining na. You are the mining company. That's why you are mining it. ठीक है, okay. Okay, one more question I have. What is the guarantee that the mine? I have given you the example. I have given you the scenario na कि demand is very high. Not even high, it is absolute. So you can sell it to the banks as well. You can convert this into securities as well in the bank. Now you have the provision for that as well. Yeah, this will be applicable for not other mining as well, huh? I'm talking about the gold because its demand is very huge. Okay. Yeah, but it is only true for gold, right? And it depends, huh? From the nature to nature. So question is not going to give you anything that is very that in that you are not going to decide anything. But question will be such that it will be very logical and you will be apply your logic as well. Question will be such that only, right? Okay. Now let's give me the answer of this question. This is not the fifth question. In the context of accounting, the term IFRS stands for what? International Financial Reporting Standard, Indian Financial Reporting System, International Financial Reporting System. Tell me what is the answer of this question? IFRS. Okay, now everyone is correct. Okay, now everyone is correct. So very good. So the answer would be International Financial Reporting Standard. And a few of you are asking me, sir, if there is any other metal. So if there is any other metal, there will be extra information as well. Don't worry about that. There will be given an extra information as well about the demand. Gold is very obvious. Gold is equivalent to cash, in fact, I can say. Okay, so that's why other information is not given to you. Okay, chalo. Let's move ahead. हाँ, बहुत discussion हो गया इस पे. Okay, let's talk about the actual question we have that has been asked in the SEBI Grade A Phase 1 2022. So you have which of the following is not a qualitative characteristics of accounting information? Accountability, consistency, verifiability, relevance, and comparability. Very easy question. Huh? What is the characteristic of qualitative characteristic of accounting information? I think everyone would be able to do this correctly. Right. That's good. Accountability is accountability is not a very qualitative characteristic. What is accountability? There's nothing called accountability. Accountability is for employees, na? Or for managers. For the accounting information, it should be reliable, it should be verifiable, it should be relevant, it should be comparable, it should be consistent, right? So option number A is the correct answer. Now again we have the actual question that has been asked in the PFRDA grade A. See, PFRDA has the syllabus that almost overlaps with the SEBI. So it can be, it is also important from that point of view. Okay. So the question is asking you, there are multiple accounting concept and principle which brings uniformity in various accounting procedures in the same manner. Which of the following accounting principle is followed and practiced while passing adjustment entries in the books of accounts? And it further says that the revenue and expense, listen to this sentence very carefully. It says that revenue and expenses incurred to earn these revenues must belong to the same accounting period. Tell me, let me check. Let me see who all are giving correct answer for this particular question. This is very important. Huh? Must belong to the same accounting period. Whatever revenue you have generated, expenses with regard to those revenue should be recorded in the accounting period itself. Tell me what is the answer. Very important question and very good question. PFRD has asked very good question. Huh? Okay, let me open the chat box. Okay. So most of you are correct, but some of you are not correct. And yes, most of you are correct. That is matching concept. And why it is matching concept, I have given you hint as well while reading out the question. Ki, look at this, read out this sentence very carefully. Ki, whatever revenue you have generated, costs related to only those revenues, you are going to record that cost in your accounting period. So obviously that's a matching concept. Okay, most of you are correct. That's good. Chalo. No, it is not a periodicity concept. See, I understand that you might be confused with the periodicity concept, but more appropriate answer is here is matching concept due to this sentence, due to this sentence, last sentence. Okay. It says revenue must belong to the same accounting period. The expenses incurred to earn those revenues must belong to some accounting period. Okay. Chalo. Now we have next question. And anyways, you don't have the periodicity concept here in the option. So automatically revenue matching concept becomes the most appropriate answer here. Okay. Now, another question we have is, which one of the following accounting concept is applied by the entity when the event such as new competitor entering into the market and there is a rift between the production and the marketing departments are not disclosed in the books of account? Tell me why we are not recording it. Because of matching concept, because of money measurement concept, because of revenue recognition, and because of cost. Tell me, everyone. I want everyone to be correct in this question. Huh? This is not a very difficult question. This is easy. Try to understand this. I want everyone to answer. So many candidates are here. I want everyone to answer. Huh? I will wait till each and every answer I am getting. It is not getting disclosed in the books of account. Why? Why? So I'm waiting for everyone. Huh? Okay, now I started to get the answers from each and everyone. Now everyone is correct, I can see. Let me check the YouTube as well. Okay, that's good. That's good. Some few people are wrong, but most of you are basically correct. Okay, that's good. In the YouTube as well. Okay, chalo. In the YouTube as well, most of them are correct. Chalo, B is the correct answer here. Okay, B is the correct answer because of the money measurement concept. We are not recognizing it because we can't recognize basically these aspects and activities in the money terms. Huh? Therefore, okay, that's good. Chalo. You have two homework questions, not one. Huh? Don't be in hurry. You have two homework questions, and you have to comment this thing in the YouTube comment section. Okay? You have to comment this in the YouTube comment section. Ki what is the answer of question number 1 for the homework question, and what is the answer of question number 2 in the homework section. First question is, what is the underlying accounting concept that supports no anticipation of profits but provision for all possible losses? ठीक है, I'm not going to read out the options for you. Second question says, purchase of machinery is what? I have given you. ठीक है, deferred even expenditure, capital gain, and even expenditure. What is it? So you have to answer me in the comment section. Now, what you need to do? मैं नाम देखूंगा सबका कि किसने किसने मुझे फीडबैक दिया है. आई विल रीड आउट ईच एंड एवरी फीडबैक. हाँ, चलो, लेट मी राइट इट. Let me write the email ID in which you have to tell me what you have learned in this class or in this session. This was very basic and very important section. If you are from non-commerce background, I want feedback from you. I want to know that what you liked in this class, the use of concept check questions, the use of examples, right? So tell me the chat section as well. And till then, I am going to write the email ID. Just copy paste it. Just copy paste this email ID in your Word document or in the Notes app if you are watching it in the mobile, and give me the feedback. Okay, Kajal is asking what is your age? What kind of feedback is this? I am very old, huh? Though I don't look very old from my face because of my lifestyle, but I am above 30. I'm usually a very happy person. Therefore, stress, I don't take any stress, huh? Therefore, I look very young, but I am above 30. I'm in fact between 30 to 31. Okay. So if you have asked me, so I have told you this thing as well. So I have given all of you the email ID, and I want each and every one you to give me basically the insight of this class, that what you have learned, what you liked the most in this particular class. Okay. If you are from the commerce background and if you are from the non-commerce background, from both of you. Okay. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. And in the next class, what we are going to do? We are going to do the class of journal entries. We are going to understand what to debit and what to credit, जिससे कि बहुत सारे बच्चे डरते हैं. सो यूट्यूब में भी ये भी रहेगा. सो फर्स्ट 3 क्लास वी आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड इन द यूट्यूब फॉर फ्री, but apart from 3 classes, I'm not going to provide anything for free, huh? So whoever is watching this in the YouTube and whoever is going to watch this in the YouTube, you have to take the course as well by going to the website. And in the website, you are going to find the brochure as well. You are going to apply the coupon code as well as your SEBI 55. So you will be purchasing this course at just rupees, I think 6,300 rupees, right? And you will find you are going to have all your classes live only, and you can ask your doubt as well. Okay, so anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. So let me take you to this screen. Okay, yeah. So tell me if you have any doubt, then I'm going to end this session. One by one, ask me one by one, huh? Because there are so many students, huh? Wait for a minute. Wait for a minute. Wait for a minute. Okay. Should I take the? Okay, should I take the YouTube? I also have to check the YouTube now. So, okay, that's good. Chalo. Thank you, Kalyani. चलो अब बताओ मेरे को, you have any doubts? Let me take doubt one by one. Thank you, Vijay. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Someone is asking me accrual and revenue recognition. Please explain. So, see, I have already explained this thing in English. Now I'm going to explain these two concepts in Hindi as well. Accrual में क्या होता है ना कि when you have some, अच्छा हिंदी में I have to explain. तो अगर हमें कुछ चीज़ हमें रुपए मिले हिंदी में, let me think about the example in हिंदी ना, कि अगर हमने मान लेते हैं ये पेन बेचा, ठीक है, ये हमने पेन बेचा और हमें रुपए नहीं मिले, वी डिडंट रिसीव द कैश, वी हैव सोल्ड दिस पेन और हमें रुपए नहीं मिले, बट ये पेन हमने डिलीवर कर दिया है अपने कस्टमर को, ठीक है. तो जब हमने डिलीवर कर दिया तो अब हमारा राइट हो गया है कि हमें पैसे मिलने चाहिए उससे. अब हमने ये राइट एस्टेब्लिश कर लिया है कि वी हैव टू रिसीव दी पेमेंट, एंड वी आर यू कैन से वी आर श्योर ऑफ रिसीविंग द पेमेंट फ्रॉम आवर कस्टमर. वी आर समवट श्योर ना, सो वी हैव राइट टू रिसीव द पेमेंट. सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू रिकॉग्नाइज आवर रिवेन्यू. तो हम रिकॉग्नाइज कर लेंगे. ये कहता है रिवेन्यू रिकॉग्निशन कॉन्सेप्ट. तो रिवेन्यू रिकॉग्निशन क्या दिखाता है? टाइमिंग ऑफ रिवेन्यू, ऑफ टाइमिंग ऑफ रिकॉग्नाइजिंग द रिवेन्यू, ये दिखाता है हमारा रिवेन्यू रिकॉग्निशन. अक्रूवल कॉन्सेप्ट सिर्फ रिवेन्यू के बारे में नहीं बताता है, अक्रूवल कॉन्सेप्ट एक्सपेंस के बारे में भी बताता है. जैसे इस पेन को खरीदने में मैंने जो रॉ मटेरियल्स खरीदे होंगे उसको मैंने पेमेंट नहीं की, बट रॉ मटेरियल्स तो मेरे पास आ गए हैं ना, तो मुझे तो पेमेंट करनी पड़ेगी अब। तो मैं कैश को देने का वेट नहीं करूंगा कि जब मैंने कैश दिया तब मैं रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करूंगा। जब मेरे पास मटेरियल आ गया तभी मैं अकाउंट्स बुक में अपनी कॉस्ट लिख दूंगा कि भाई इतने का मटेरियल मैंने खरीदा था, इतने की कॉस्ट थी। क्लियर? एम के एल इट इज क्लियर? ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट डाउट आई एम गोइंग टू टेक। ओके, वेयर आर डाउट्स? Okay, Miran is asking, sir, what about the notes? So you will be given the summary sheets and you will be provided the recorded videos of this class as well, huh? I think you will not be provided the PDF. No, you will be provided the PDF of the classes as well. Don't worry about that as well. Whatever I have taught you now, you will be given the PDF of this class as well, right? Okay, so your doubt is clear. Okay, now we have, okay, Kilani Singh, thank you, that's good. Okay, Meghna is asking one by one, huh? One by one. You have there are so many students here. One by one, you have to ask me. Meghna is asking if it is mentioned that stock is kept for more than 1 year, then it is see. It is somewhat deep. I'm going to give you another scenario of this thing. So Meghna is asking if it is mentioned that stock is kept for more than 1 year, it is never mentioned that it is getting kept for more than 1 year. Basically, what happens, even sometimes what happens ki even if it is not getting sold within 1 year na, then also we consider it current asset. But when, I'm going to tell you when. Suppose the operating cycle, listen to me very carefully, you have asked me an advanced question, that's why I'm going to tell you the advanced concept as well. Okay, so that's a good question. Suppose the operating cycle, you know what is operating cycle? Operating cycle is basically where the time period between the purchasing of the material and when you have sold the goods. The time period between these two activities is your operating cycle. So suppose for a business enterprise, or suppose for a business entity, what is the time? Okay, 9 o'clock. So suppose for a business entity, the operating cycle is of 14 months, not of 12 months. It is of 14 months. So we are going to consider the current asset for them, even if they are getting hold, if even if they are basically keeping those inventories for 14 months, then also we are going to consider it current asset. So please remember this thing. If the current asset is for 1 year or for the operating cycle, whichever is higher, we are going to consider it current asset only. So अगर जनरल ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल 14 मंथ्स की है और हमें क्वेश्चन में दिया है कि 13 मंथ्स के लिए हम इसको रख रहे हैं, तब भी वो करंट एसेट में आएगा. मेघना इज क्लियर अबाउट हिज हर डाउट. ठीक है मेघना, क्लियर? नाउ यू आर क्लियर ना? ठीक है, लेट मी चेक आउट दी अदर. इतने सारे क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछने हैं, एक एक करके यू हैव टू आस्क मी. ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, if I start my preparation now, should I prefer live classes or recorded? Live classes, live classes, live classes. You need to watch the live classes. ठीक है, live classes, and you need to go through these PPTs. And even if you have not enrolled student, live classes are very important. We are basically condensing the material in such a way that everything is completed on time. इट टेक्स लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क. हाँ, यहाँ तो आपको 2 घंटे क्लास दिख रही है मेरी, 2 ढाई घंटे की. इसके पीछे की बहुत मेहनत है मेरी. तो लाइव क्लासेस आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो ये लाइव में थोड़ा इंटरेक्शन भी होता है, यू फील मोटिवेटेड इनफ टू कवर एवरीथिंग, ईच एंड एवरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द क्लास. ठीक है, और यू विल बी प्रोवाइडेड विद द PDF एज वेल, यू हैव द क्वेश्चंस एज वेल, यू हैव द समरी शीट एज वेल. यू कैन प्रिपेयर द नोट्स by watching the recorded videos after the live class as well. ठीक है, let me tell the let me take the query of this YouTube as well. सर गोल्ड कोर्स में कौन सा डाउनलोड कर पाएंगे? सेबी में कर पाएंगे. ठीक है, सेबी में कर पाएंगे. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट क्वेरी आई हैव इज ऑफ धवल, वुड द नेग्लिजेंस बाय एन एम्प्लॉय leading to material financial impact on the company be disclosed or considered material? A big fraud. Considered material, it would be disclosed in the financial statement on the notes to account, because fraud is something ki, question is very good. I will read out the question as well for everyone. Would the negligence by an employee leading to material financial impact on the company be disclosed or considered material? Example, a big fraud committed by an employee, so it will be disclosed in the notes to account. ठीक है, it is going to be disclosed, because this is the nature of transaction, nature of event is such that the it can impact the decision of the investors. It can impact the decision of the investors now, so therefore it is it is advisable to include this in the financial statement. See, accounts is very I can say it depends कि how accountant think of that scenario है ना. So auditor checks, therefore we have the auditors to check if everything is done correctly on the part of accountant or not. So accounting is very much you can say it is manipulative as well. So purposely business will try to hide this fact of fraud, but the company must, or you can say should disclose this fact as well. Okay, next question is, sir, confused between material objectivity and cost and money. See, cost is very easy, na? Ki, Damini, whatever fixed asset you are purchasing, you have to record this in cost only. This is the concept of cost. You have to record it in the cost year after year. You don't have to do anything with the market price. Money measurement concept is something like ki, you are only going to record the transactions or the events which can be measured in terms of money. Money concept is very easy. Now you have the question of materiality and objectivity. Objectivity says कि it should be objective. It should be based on the accounting record should be based on accounting should be done based on the standards, based on the principle. It should not be subjective in nature. It should not be biased. Like I have given you example of fraud. So management should not practically management should not hide the fact of fraud. If they are hiding it, they are not following the objectivity. This is the objectivity concept. Then you are asking about the material. You are asking each and every concept again. Okay, so material. So if any material information is there, again material information, you know what is material information, that is going to impact the decision of the users of the financial statement, that you need to disclose in the financial statements. Okay, so this is what materiality is. Materiality concept says there is any transaction which can impact the decision of the users of the financial statement, it should be entered into the financial records. Chalo, next question we have. Easy. So many doubts. How can I take so many doubts? Okay. I want every one of you to comment the homework answer in the comment section of the YouTube. Huh? I will check. Okay. Because in the live you can't give me the answer. Now in the chat section, in the comment section, because there is no comment section here. Okay. So Akshay's doubt is, what should be completed by us before the next live class? Also correct is what intervals revision should be made? देखो रिवीजन का क्राइटेरिया ये है राइट. देखो एमसीक्यू तो यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस. आई एम इंक्लूडिंग एमसीक्यू इन द क्लास इटसेल्फ. पहले तो आपका ये टारगेट होना चाहिए कि यू मस्ट revisit this class if the time permits. If not, you will be getting the PDF. You have to revise it from the PDF itself. Okay, first target is that. Then you are asking me next live class is tomorrow, so you need to revise this all of this. If for every student it is mandatory, huh? Whatever we have studied in today's class, you must revise it through the PDF, right, or through the PPT. Then in the next class, what is going to happen, we will be continuing from this class. So when your base is strong, you can easily understand, you will be able to easily understand what we are going to talk about in next class, that is journal entries. तो ये आपका टारगेट होना चाहिए. MCQs तो सीधे प्रैक्टिस करा दिए हैं. You can take the MCQs from the quizzes we have provided you in the course. ठीक है, you can do so. और सर रिकॉर्डिंग कब तक अपलोड हो जाएगा? काजल ये तो मुझे भी नहीं पता है. रिकॉर्डेड क्लास शायद शाम तक हो जाता है, तो सपोर्ट से आपको पूछना पड़ेगा. सपोर्ट टीम हमारी जो है ना, उससे आपको फ़ोन करके पूछ लेना आप, तो आप दोबारा देख सकते हो. ठीक है. ओके मिलन सिंह, थैंक यू. हाँ काजल पीडीएफ डाउनलोड कर पाएंगे. नितिन इज आस्किंग सर 1 लाइन ऑफ डिफर्ड रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर. डिफर्ड रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर कितनी बार बता दिया मैंने. दोज एक्सपेंडिचर ना कि विच वी आर नॉट रिकॉग्नाइजिंग in a particular year itself. We are deferring this expenditure for multiple years, so that our financial statements shows us true and fair view. Because see, we have done the advertisement expense, suppose of 1 crore rupees. If we uh, include this 1 crore rupees as a total expense in this particular year, it will not be correct representation of our financial statements, because the benefits what we are going to get from this advertisement expenses, we are going to get the benefits for multiple years. So we are going to defer it. So we are going to include this in our asset, and we are going to basically include our expenses, some expense of this total expense in this particular year, then some expense in next particular year, then few expense in next particular year. Similarly, whatever management has decided for 10 years or 5 years, they need to distribute this expense. They are going to do that thing. So this is what deferred revenue expenditure is. When you are not going to recognize overall revenue expenditure in a particular, in a single year. So then we call it deferring the revenue expenditure. Okay. Let me check the YouTube as well. Okay. ठीक है. Chandana is saying, sir, I don't know anything about the syllabus. You can check the syllabus from the brochure itself. Na? Go to the EduTap website, check the syllabus. We have the detailed schedule. The schedule itself is the syllabus. Syllabus is nothing new. Okay. So we have next question as, sir, when will the recording? तो बता दिया मैंने. Accrual. अच्छा, one more question आया. Accrual में revenue भी होता है, तो in that case revenue recognition accrual. So in that case revenue recognition and accrual दोनों यूज होगा ना. What is this question? I'm not getting your question. iPad. हाँ, accrual में see accrual talks about the revenue as well and expenses as well, but revenue recognition only talks about the revenue. This is the basic criteria. Now next question. Okay, Nitin, I have given you. Ankita is asking, is it possible to watch recorded class in case I miss the yeah, you can watch it. Okay, Dhaval is saying thank you. Welcome, Dhaval. Okay, Prachi Singh. Sir, after live classes, what is our homework? What you need to do, you need to revise this PDF. First thing you need to do, you need to revise this PDF thoroughly. You need to attempt the questions I have given you in this particular PDF as well. And if you have quiz in the course, obviously you have, so you can attempt the quiz as well. Okay, this is what you have to do. And if the time permits, you can prepare the short notes as well. Okay, whatever I have told you, we have discussed, just prepare notes based on that. Whatever information you find very useful and not very obvious information, you don't have to write very obvious information. You need to write down what is not very obvious and which is very technical and which is important from the examination point of view, and by reading which you can have the idea of overall paragraph. So you have to basically concise overall paragraph into 2 or 3 lines. This is what art of note making is. Okay. And she's saying, should we make notes while watching live classes? Not while watching live classes, but after the live class, whatever I have provided you, you can basically enter it into your notes. Okay? Through the summary sheets, you can do through the recording sessions. You can write your notes, because you won't have that much time to prepare notes while we are having the live classes. Okay? So after the live class, you can do that while reading out the PDFs. कि sir ने क्या कहा था, that is important. Just write it down, or while watching the recorded sessions, or while going through the PDF itself. Now Akash is asking me, how are we going to get new PDFs, or should we start studying from those already uploaded? ये पीडीएफ आपको मिल जाएगा ना, आज ही मिल जाएगा, आज या कल में. आपको न्यू पीडीएफ पढ़नी है, ओल्ड पीडीएफ नहीं पढ़नी. जो मैंने दिया है, जो हम लोग लाइव क्लासेस में वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग ना, दैट यू हैव टू स्टडी. आकाश, ठीक है. अनिल सिंह, सर आपका टेलीग्राम आईडी दे सकते हैं? पर्सनली टेलीग्राम आईडी तो मैं नहीं दे सकता, बट यू कैन सर्च इट इफ यू वांट. बट आपके पास है एडुटैप का टेलीग्राम आईडी है, यू हैव, एंड यू हैव if you want to talk to me, you can ask the support department ki place a strategy call with Santosh sir. You can directly talk to me, don't worry about that, huh? Okay. And again we have this, sir, please include more of the out of box examples. Yeah, definitely I will try my best. Anil is saying, sir, मैंने बेसिक्स रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो में से किया है, बट समरी नोट लेंदी है, टोटल अकाउंट का 650. ठीक है, बेसिक रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो से किया है, दैट इज गुड ना. बट जो मैंने भी कराया लाइव क्लासेस में, यू कैन वॉच इट. You can you have already watched it live, and you can watch it in the recorded as well. You will be getting the recorded session as well. You can watch it again, so your basics will be clear. Okay? So next class will be of general entries, that is recording transition. Then we will be doing the trial, balance and errors. So these three, if you do these 3 classes very rigorously, then your basics will be clear, and these 3 classes will be uploaded to YouTube as well. But after that after that I will not be providing anything for free. You have to join the course for the YouTube students, I am telling you. Okay. Okay, so आप नोट्स बना लेना अनिल. if you find anything very lengthy ना, तो आपको नोट्स बनाने पड़ चाहिए. ठीक है. Okay, so next question is, don't print the PDFs or PPTs. just study the PDFs from the soft copy itself and try to make your own notes out of it, है ना? वो important है. Even if you provide, you might see mind maps के लिए it is I can say not very feasible for right now, but I will convey the feedback to the department as well, to the management as well. Don't worry. Okay. Anil, okay. So Ankita is asking, for accounting standard, what should we study? Indian accounting standard or IFRS? No IFRS, no IFRS. You have to study accounting standard. Then I'm going to tell you what extra things are there in the Indian accounting standards. The important is, see, I'm going to write it here. This is important for everyone. We are going to study accounting standard plus whatever extra is there in Indian accounting standard. We are going to study that as well. These two are enough. You don't need to study whole of the Indian accounting standard. You don't need to study whole of the IFRS, and you don't need to study whole of the international accounting standard as well. Okay, clear? Okay. Next question is, uh, Anil is saying sir इतना time नहीं है notes taking. See, Anil, I would suggest कि it is very good to make your own notes, हाँ, क्योंकि जब हम अपनी लैंग्वेज में नोट्स बनाते हैं ना, बट इवन दो ये तो मेरा पर्सनल सजेशन है कि नोट्स बनाने चाहिए. इवन इफ यू हैव, वी ऑल नो दैट वी हैव समरी शीट्स इन द कोर्स, ठीक है. बट इवन देन फ्रॉम द समरी शीट इटसेल्फ यू शुड prepare your notes. That is advisable, not mandatory. You can qualify the examination from the summary sheets as well, but it is advisable. क्या होता है ना, इसका मैं रीजन बता देता हूँ. When you try to make notes from your own handwriting ना, जब आप नोट्स बनाते हो तो आप चीज़ें रिवाइज भी कर रहे होते हो कंसाइज वे में, तो वो मेमोरी जो है कनेक्शन बनाता रहता है, और जब बाद में आपके पास नोट्स होंगे ना तो आप बहुत जल्दी रिवाइज कर लेते हो. बट एनीवेज, आई विल कन्वे द सजेशन ऑफ योर्स टू इंक्लूड द माइंड मैप्स एज वेल in the SEBI examination. I will convey your suggestion as well. ठीक है. तो everyone is clear. Every doubt is clear now. Okay. Okay. Miran is asking, sir, sources will be the PDF from this class, right? Now, sources, obviously, this PDF will be provided to you. है ना? This PDF will be provided to you. The same PDF that I have given you, that the same PPT that I have presented to you, this will be provided to you in the PDF format. You have to study this thing. You will be given the summary sheets as well. You will be provided the quizzes as well in the course itself. ठीक है, Milan? Okay. We are not providing you any other book, huh? These will be sufficient if you follow it rigorously, but sufficient from the conceptual clarity. But you need to attempt more MCQs, more mock tests you need to give. ठीक है? Milan, clear? Your doubt is clear now? Okay, okay, thank you. Chalo, I will be waiting for the feedbacks, huh? And I will be reading the all the feedbacks personally. So I want each and every one of you to give me the feedback in the email ID I have given you. hello@edutap.co.in. Chalo, I am ending this meeting now. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, good night, good night. Okay, happy Holi again. Chalo. So I am ending this meeting and we are going to meet in our today's session. No, sorry, tomorrow's session at the same time, that is 6:30 p.m. ठीक है? चलो, bye.